Balmora. Home. I never wanted to see it like this. Was Balmora's trade secretary. I was off-world when the Imperial occupation began, and my colleagues were exiled or killed. Our president, he was taken, and who knows what he suffered. Hiding or not, I now have seniority. If we free Balmora, I become president.
Isn't that Cam Clark, not Matthew Mercer?
The Empire must know that you're next in line. You're lucky to be alive.
Several Republic worlds protected me. I owe them everything. And once our government is restored, I want Balmora to join the Republic.
Restoring the government will be no easy matter.
I have a plan. It's a little unconventional.
Ty, it's madness. You don't have any supporters or soldiers, anything.
That will change. Meanwhile, I have a contact who can help us. A revolutionary calling himself Zenith. Zenith and his followers have been sabotaging the Empire's operations. Assassination, sneak attacks. He's something of a blunt instrument.
How can we place our trust in such a man?
Zenith is connected, and he hates the Empire. I don't have the luxury of being judgmental. When you're on the surface, go to this location and enter the phrase, "Two perspectives are aligned," into the computer there. It'll get Zenith's attention. Hopefully, he'll be amenable.
Is there anything in particular you want me to tell him?
Say whatever you need to. Just get him on our side. Best of luck. I've been waiting to return for so long.
Yeah, like, what, a month? 2? It's been forever, man. That poor guy. Good morning, Umbral Magnus, Loner, Blade Terval, Ect, Vigilant, Hazardous, J. Palmer, Zach Taft, Orcano, Latario, Nemesis, Vigilant. What's up? I only have one question of yours in the queue at the moment, Latario, but it is still in the queue, yes. And that question is, do you think Consular is the best Republic story so far? Yes. It's funny, for years I said Smuggler was best, but here we are. Hey, Guga. Giga's making pudding. Hey, Chaotic. This has been an interesting day, and that's all I'll say to that. Good morning, Geludo. Hey, Mega Skull Monsbach. Ah, Balmora. Last time, if you're thinking about it, this is the last time we see any of this stuff on the Republic. Every planet we finish is the last time we will do that particular planet on the Republic. Something satisfying about that. Because I will never, ever play the Republic again. Even Consular, which has been passable, I'm never, ever touching the Republic again. Good God. Fun fact, several people say that in the universe, too.
I heard that two perspectives are aligned.
Zenith only speaks in private, and the Empire is always watching. There are privacy scramblers throughout this area, relics from a freer time. Switch them on, and you will be contacted.
I get what you mean, but, like, doesn't that sound like a strange sentence by itself? Ah, back when we were more free to have privacy scramblers all over the place. It was you, Terra! J'accuse! Thank you, Fuzzy Duck. Always appreciate. And very, very, topical. Because for those of you who didn't hear, there's an LTTP theater happening this very Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time with a... Get on a respawn. With a, Pre-stream, starting at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yep. Quest respawns. It actually wasn't too bad. It was only like 40 seconds. What Republic class would I recommend for planetary primaries? None! Don't! There you go. There's my recommendation. Saturday. The 17th, if that helps. It's also actually already on YouTube. It's set to premiere. So if you just go to my channel, it should be right there. It's not right there. Well, then I'm afraid I'll have to kill everything.
It runs smoothly, of course. Do I get a grant for this?
Correct. There will be no Torah stream this coming Saturday. Wait. Sorry, respawn. That was fast.
I found a way to improve upon your specifications, Master. I trust you don't mind. I will exceed your expectations, Master.
We might act, but remember, we've got Corellia staring at us. I mean, if it makes you feel any better, Blade Revolt, there will be a stream on Saturday. It just won't be Tor. Yes, Flagand. Ping to you, by the way. What the hell's a lore week? Honestly, I could probably argue for a lore week this week. I'm just not going to because the theater takes precedence. In the universe, how do you think the Consular feels about being overshadowed by the Knight? Well, the Consular, near as I can tell, is on track to becoming the next Palpatine, so I don't think she minds. Yep. Quest respawns. And it doesn't share. Orcano and I are on the same quest. And this interaction does not share. Too hot. I mean, yeah, Jedi Knight is just... don't even get me started. I don't even care if Jedi Knight is canonically the most powerful Force user in the history of the ever. You're on, Catacomb. Have a good one. Wait, just in case it's like a proximity thing. Inquisitor is a weird one. Inquisitor is certainly very powerful, but at the same time, Inquisitor also kind of... I don't want to say she cheats, but she has a shortcut to more power. It's... Oh, it does say... Oh, thank God it shares. I was actually going to give this a new negative, too, if it didn't. And cheats is probably the wrong word, but you get my point. She augments her power. It's a major plot point. Still, it's not like she wasn't powerful to begin with, and she is capable of doing that augmentation, so... Not like she isn't super strong. It's just, she is super strong who can augment herself into ludicrously strong levels. Oh yeah, Vitiate absolutely is a cheater. I actually agree with that. On the one hand, it is satisfying to do that, but it should have been a choice, in my opinion, you know? It's not like they couldn't have done that for a final quest in a chain, right? They could have made it so that, you know... Oh, by the way, we're tank spec now, and I love it! I actually did a little bit of off-camera-ing just to... And that's shared, yep. Yay! And, yeah, it feels awesome. Moving on.
Xena speaking, what do you want?
I'm here on Ty Corden's behalf.
Then what does he want?
I want to run the Imperials off Balmora, so Ty Corden's new government can take over.
Unlikely. The old government's in exile. The Empire's too powerful. Ty Corden was talented. Naive, though. Still, exile can change a person. No. The Republic has failed us before. Help me first, then we'll talk.
What's the nature of this task?
I'm tracking the Imperial head of manufacture, responsible for building weapons and enslaving my people. He's operating from inside the Okara droid factory. Normally, no problem. But he has a powerful bodyguard. I can't get close. Go to the factory and keep the bodyguard out of the way for me? Then we talk politics.
A child could do this.
Don't take long. This mission is vital.
Oh, of course they are, CyberXL. No question. Anyways, what I would have liked it is if we had an option to either just completely, flat-out overwhelm Thanaton, like we do, or to outmaneuver Thanaton, which we also kind of do, it's just then we have to go outpower him. Up here. Yeah, don't forget, we're not just more powerful than Luke, we're powerful than Revan, and Vitiate, and it's, look, you get the idea. I hope you like Kaizen's voice, by the way. We're going to be hearing a lot of it today. Damashi asked me a question, too. He said, do you feel you earned your master status compared to knight? I don't know if I'd say I earned it. But at the same time, I certainly earned it more. So, I'm going to lean towards yes.
I'll take care of it.
We are more powerful than Abeloth. I mean, in fairness, I'm pretty sure the lint in my belly button is more powerful than Abeloth. Yes, exactly, Vigilant. We will do whatever is necessary to win this war. The irony is I actually rather like Thanaton, and he would have been a great ally had he not insisted on you-know-what. But what can you do? He decided to be my enemy. I didn't decide that. Which is funny, because if you're paying attention, Barriss does the same thing. Now, the catch, the distinction, you can play as someone who intends to betray Barriss, but you can't play as someone who is going against Thanaton.
It was my pleasure to serve.
Thanaton jumps the gun no matter what. Barriss jumps the gun or is correctly preempting you. Take your pick. Right. There it is. Let's move that around. Just funny to think about. Zash, well...
I will exceed your expectations, Master.
Zash is another example of the same thing as Barriss. You could be planning to go against... Like, basically the game allows you to have played your character in such a way that you could be deciding to go against Zash, or you could have actually been loyal to Zash. I'm just gonna... last time I did that, it bugged out, so... Hi, Vigilant. I'm invisible. You cannot see me. Ignore my lightsaber that you cannot see while I am invisible. I love this. There's nobody here but us floating lightsaber staves. Anyways, yeah, Thanaton, even if you do absolutely everything right, Thanaton's like, no, you gotta die. It's one of the weaker elements of the Inquisitor story arc. Barriss's eventual betrayal makes sense one way or the other. Thanaton's does not. My opinion. But I think the abusive life of the Inquisitors as slave was the reason they turned evil.
First those terrorists, now a Jedi. Saras, handle this intruder.
As you command. Get back, Jedi. I'm apprentice to Darth Lacris, Vice President of Balmorra, and this man is under my protection.
Darth Lacris will soon be training a new apprentice.
I see. Then let's test your master's training against mine.
Okay, so my training was spending $10 to level to 70, and bringing along a smuggler with me, so I think I'm gonna win this one. Don't do as much damage, but I'm also a tank, so have fun with that. Anyways.
You'll pay for that, Jedi! Saras was Darth Lacris' special apprentice! I'll have to answer for his death!
That sounds like
Whatever
you'll
you
pay
paid
for that.
I'll never...
Perhaps you should surrender before your situation gets worse.
Jedi, good work distracting the bodyguard. Allow me to find a position.
Missed my shot. Step back, please. I need him dead.
His life means nothing to me.
No! Please! I'm not a...
Excellent. Thank you.
Not a what?
I found a safe house where Ty and his colleagues can gather. My people are smuggling in there now. This is it. I'll go on ahead. I want to hear Ty's plan.
And yes, that is very obviously Troy Baker. Does it want me to go all the way back to Bugtown? It does. Wow, okay. That can't be. I've got to be misreading that map, because this map is terrible. So hang on, let's try this. Where do you want me to go, game?
Reminder. Mechanized...
Nope, it really does want me to go all the way back to Bugtown. Wow. Okay. Cool. It's okay, we do plenty of both, J. Palmer. Yeah, it just... Wow, okay.
Some of my finest work, I think. This will be trivial.
They have been discussed, and they are a positive Umbral Magus. Because I agree, they're pretty cool.
Excellent work. 2 of my colleagues have already returned from exile, and we can work safely here.
Plotting to give Balmorra to the Republic. One occupation replaced by another. But we both want the Empire gone. Our goal is the same.
For now.
Without our strategy, you're just a radical throwing bombs and writing slogans.
Whatever works. What's Ty's alternative?
Balmorra's strength is in the huge corporations here. They have money, political pull, and military droids. So far, the Empire has left the corporations alone, in return for donations of weapons and credits.
Those weapons and funds would greatly improve our own position.
After you both handled that Imperial official, I called my old corporate contacts here. We have their attention. Their resources are invaluable to building our new government. I want their commitment.
You might see greater profit in turning us over to the Empire.
Yes, but I offer freedom, plus a whole republic of customers. Director Fenn is head of Troida, and speaks for the other companies. He's asked to discuss a deal with us. There's an old records vault outside Sobrik he's chosen for the meet. I'd like you to convince him to help.
I'm sure I can make this Director Fenn see reason.
The Empire watches everyone important. Fenn will have Imperial droids escorting him. For protection. Destroy them quickly or they'll report you to the Empire. Then it's over.
Oh, are we Dark Side 2? We are! We've made it to Dark Side 2.
Found a way to improve upon your
Power! Unlimited! Hi.
I promise nothing less than perfection, Master.
I'm not sure what Dark Side 2 grants us, but soon we'll have the eyes and the face. Two people driving along the road. One of them has power. One of them has unlimited. They slam into each other. Oh, he got his power in my unlimited. I got my unlimited in his power. I'm Officer Palpatine. What seems to be going on here? Five, Mike Kamano. I was thinking about it. The Republic stuff is basically done at this point. Like, I have no new positives or negatives to add to the Republic side, because we're done with it. Oh, I know Cyber XL. It's great. I love it. Unfortunately, I've already unlocked Sage for my second class. What the hell's Ilum? Alright, so. Get this away. I've already decided I'm going to count Ilum as separate. So, I'm going to count Ilum as separate. Do you think it's a good thing they removed the light side, dark side games for simply killing enemies, including quests? That's a tough... Oh, God, I hate this planet so much. Yes, I need to go this way. I remember. I'm gonna with no. I think that the light side, dark side thing, ultimately, let's be honest with ourselves, is primarily about role-playing and cosmetics. And making it so you have to effectively farm light side or dark side points, which is what I'm doing, by the way. Not a great choice. If Obi-Wan and the Council refused to train Anakin at the end of Phantom Menace, would Palpatine have taken the opportunity right then and there to take him? Yes, of course he would. Hell's bells. Join me, my young apprentice. I'm sorry, he wasn't evil. Join me, my young apprentice. Together, we will rule the galaxy as father and son. Do I think Sith and Republic players should be allowed to friend and group with each other? Yes. 100% yes. Faction systems are, and always have been, stupid. That was true in Lineage, even though it supported it in that game. And it's true in WoW. It's true here. Okay, in the interest of fairness, in a game where the entire majority content is about fighting other people, that is to say another faction, at least there's a reason, vague though it may be, for there to be factions. But that's literally a code reason, not a design reason or even a lore reason. Yeah, there we go. Made it. Hi. Oh, no! Vigilant! Where'd you die? Where'd you die? Where's the corpse? Where's the corpse? No, Vigilant, I could have rezzed you. I could have rezzed you! I could have rezzed you. Let's see, where's the spot where you can jump all the way down? Maybe over here? I mean, I could too, Blade Troll. I'm not really joking. Or Vigilant. Okay, that works. I should probably heal. And that is where we're in conflict? That's where we disagree. There needs to be a dramatic say-away. And that's where you're wrong. There we go. Perfect. That's how you're supposed to proclaim that you disagree with someone, is saying that they're wrong, right?
Watch out for the droids.
What droids? Donuts, Mr. Red. Oh, there it is.
I see Ty Corden picks his negotiators well. That should wipe your presence from the droid's memory. Director Fenn, tried him. I've been considering Ty Corden's offer. Given that we risk Darth Lacris's anger if we are caught, we want a special favor.
What kind of favor?
The Jedi have sometimes opposed our more unconventional weapons. Your ethics cost us credits. If we support Ty, I want to promise that the Jedi won't interfere with our weapons development.
Balmora's in peril and you're wheeling and dealing.
We're risking our lives. All we want is a tiny concession. Wait, that's the Imperial soldier monitoring those droids. Stay here. I'll tell him something.
Thought he'd never leave. I have information for you.
What have you learned?
Seems Director Fenn has a wife and daughter in Sobrik. My men know where to find them. Mention that, and Fenn will agree to anything.
Better than wasting time arguing with him.
You're welcome. Better go.
There. The Empire suspects nothing. So, can you promise the Jedi will not interfere with our work?
I hear your wife and daughter are in Sobrik, unprotected. The Jedi can assure their safety.
What? Oh, yes. Very well, Jedi. We'll help Ty Corden.
It's extremely evil.
From the Empire.
Wow.
Weapons, blueprints, credit accounts. They're all yours.
I regret this became necessary, but it's for the good of Balmora.
Please, forgive my previous thoughtlessness. This password will let you access terminals in Sobrik to get data on the stockpiles, but that data is encrypted. Once you have all the data, take it to the sunken Sarlacc Cantina in Sobrik. A cyborg there, Banks, can decrypt and transmit it for you. Just treat him gently.
I'm liking Balmora so far. We've only been here a few minutes.
If Ty has more people like you, facing up to Darth Lacris should be easy. Goodbye.
Wow.
A real test of my
That put a smile on my face.
I will exceed your expectations, Master.
Anyways, where's my question queue? Let's see here. Right, factions. So let me explain something about the factions thing really quick. I want to talk about that briefly. So let's get this out of the way. The primary reason for having factions in an MMO is the versus side of things. It's not the differing sides of content. There are plenty of other ways to produce differing sides of content without actually having to go into a faction system. I can literally point to an example of that right off the top of my head. WoW Legion. In Legion... Stealth! There we go. In Legion, there is a great deal of unique content that is unique to a class. As of BFA, I know, you can actually point to unique content as of a species as well. Now, these are just small examples, and honestly, they're kind of threadbare, but the reason I'm bringing this up is there are ways to do that unique content thing without factions even existing. The reason for a faction to exist is code. It is because that way it's much easier to make it so that anybody with flag A is always hostile to anyone with flag B. So if you have a game that is primarily focused around, I don't know, open world PvP, well, you don't need to do any extra programming to make that work because it's baked into the system. A can always fight B because A is A and B is B. That's it. Very simple, very easy to program. Now, this was done deliberately in World of Warcraft, something I personally think is a mistake, but that's just me, in order to encourage this type of open world PvP. This is primarily because back in the older MMOs, open world PvP was a thing, but it was opt-in. In Assassin's Creed, wow, lord. In Asheron's Call, you had the... Interesting. You had Going Red, which meant you were now PvP flag. That's shared, by the way. In Ultima Online, you had, I forget what it was, but you could agree to interact with someone and fight with someone, and there were like safe zones and non-safe zones. And in EverQuest, I forget how the hell they did it, but they did it some way. The point was, it was an opt-in, opt-out system, which actually had its own flaws and issues. Did I not put my CC? Or... No, absolutely, CyberXL. Most older MMOs work that way. So when they were designing WoW, they wanted a simpler, easier way to code that. So the solution they came up with was factions. A always fights B, always fights A. There you go. Boom. Super easy, very easy to program, very easy to maintain. No bugs, no flaws, no accidentally killing Lord British. We're good. Now, if that is your objective, that's a perfectly valid and good reason to have a faction system in your MMO. The problem is that a game like, I don't know, Tor does not want or encourage open world PvP, last I checked. Feel free to correct me on this if I'm incredibly wrong. I'm pretty sure that's not the direction they want to go with. Frankly, WoW drifted out of that almost immediately. They had to go back to re-adding open world PvP much later. That was a great time, Retu. Terrible, but great. Anyways. So that's why I'm generally against faction systems in an MMO. Like, if we ever decide, what do we call it, Everlore? Everlore will probably not have a faction system simply by virtue of the fact that it will probably not be open world PvP focused, and therefore there will be no reason for a faction system to even exist. I have actually played EverQuest 2, which also had a faction system, although that one was even weirder, because there was a faction system, but you could change sides if you were willing to spend half your life doing so. I am barely exaggerating with that. The Turn Traitor quest was insane.
I find a way to improve upon your specifications.
Hi, Giga! Save us! Save us, Giga! Giga! Help! Help! Oh, thank God. Giga brought a giant pink laser. Whew. I don't know what we do without our delightful dancing Twi'lek. So what they did, Cashel, is what I'm going to refer to as the very first steps in allowing Horde and Alliance players to group with each other. The answer is yes, but not fully. Not whatever you're thinking. It's literally just like the very first step of, under these circumstances, with this particular group finder thing, for these types of activities, if you know the person in question, you can now group with the other side. It's got tons of provisos. But, credit where credit is due, it is a first step in breaking down the barriers of the faction system.
Are you Banks? I need you to decrypt and transmit some data.
You're risking your neck in here, Jedi. Sobrick's Imperial now. Everywhere. Even in my head. I'd love to help you, but Darth Lacris discovered how fast I work, and bang, I'm working for her.
Anything you know about Darth Lacris could be very helpful.
Well, our president's sick, so she's doing his job. Good at giving orders. Bad temper. Oh, and she wants to tear your heart out because you cost her an apprentice. Darth Lacris has my brain busy processing a data stream right now. If I stop to decrypt this, it's the shock prod.
Defy me, and I guarantee you'll suffer right here. Now decrypt it.
Okay, all right. Hand it over.
That's right. Threaten him, Giga.
Screwed up Darth Lacris' data stream. But at least you got what you wanted, right, Jedi?
Listen, it's nothing personal. I usually try to be reasonable, but I really need those dark side points. Oh my god, does it really want me? It does! It does! It wants me to go back to Bugtown! So, Lotario says, does the Darth Plagueis book all but confirm Sidious and Plagueis were responsible for Anakin's creation? So yes is the answer to that. But actually there's some nuance to that. It's a little bit of a matter of which writer says what and your interpretation as to whether they deliberately actually caused the creation of Anakin, or they created the circumstances which led to the creation of Anakin. And there is a distinction between those two. It's a matter of nuance, but which one you lean on is up to you, or the writer of the week. Is the LTTP Theater only one episode? Yes, it's about 3 hours long, but honestly, I thought about chopping it up, but there was no real reason to, and it's only 3 hours long, so...
We've been receiving the stockpile data. It's better than I hoped. Look, Director Fenn already sent droids for protection. I heard you and Zenith threatened Fenn's family. Was that necessary? What if the corporations rebel later?
There are times you must fight your own battles.
I suppose I'll soon have issues like this every day. With the corporation's support, we're secure enough to begin the next stage of my plan. Word is, our current President Galtha is ill. He's rarely seen, and Darth Lacris says she's acting on his behalf. But I need him. Unless President Galtha publicly signs over power to me, becoming president will be difficult.
I'm gonna ask the obvious question.
His endorsement seems like a small thing beside the might of the corporations.
President Galtha is well loved by Balmora's people. Without his approval, or fall, they'll never trust us.
Trouble. Informant and Sobrik just recorded this speech from Darth Lacris.
By our dear President, after these rumors of a new anarchist government, we are pursuing Executive Order 228. Using it, we've unmasked dozens of resistance accomplices hiding amongst us. But rest assured, they are already at our holding facility.
And I can't wait to have sex with her.
For their crimes, Balmora's future will be bright again.
Darth Lacris enjoys rounding up innocents. Set a trap for a Jedi. Kill the prisoners if no one takes the bait. Win-win for her.
Your people should have risen up against Darth Lacris long ago.
Some tried. We call them martyrs. She'll expect one Jedi, but I have allies in hiding. We'll draw the Imperials out, you get the civilians. Plausible?
You and your friends had better know what you're doing.
Done okay so far.
Thank you, both of you. We'll start arrangements to send those people into hiding.
I know this holding facility, Death Trap. Here's the location. My men and I will go on ahead. Don't forget what we're risking for you, Ty. Because I won't.
Mail droid. Interact with that. But yeah, what's funny is when I have sex with her, it'll actually be in the past relative to this point in time. Because we're totally doing that, by the way. Just so you know.
I was just wondering how I might serve you better, Master. I'll start this task immediately.
Lol, or not. So, you realize that you're essentially a fake Jedi like Atris, given you're a Darksider who believes they're a Jedi.
Greetings. You are cleared for the following.
I believe I'm a Jedi? Yeah, so what's going to happen is the Sith Warrior is going to be like, hey, Lacris. And Lacris is going to be like, hey, Sith Warrior. And then there's this meteor that comes slamming through the ceiling, leaving a giant gaping hole in it. And from it emerges the Furt Master's like, oh, sorry I'm late, Oh, I'm here. How you doing? Wait, I have 2 companions, my Kamado? That's impressive. How did I manage that exactly? Sure, Psychotic, what do you got? You've actually heard 3, if that makes you feel any better, Mike Kamado. Yeah, the Furt Master just shows up periodically. Sith Warrior's like, Vet, join me, and we will rule this empire together. And Vet's like, hell yes! And they move in for the kiss. And then they both turn to the side, and Furt Master's just standing there. We don't even know how he got in. He's just standing there like, hey, you want to turn this into a threesome? And then they're both into it. And Furt Master, who wasn't actually being serious, is like, whoa, no, I was just... No, thank you. No, thank you. I'm gonna be over here. Yeah, exactly. He's married. He's happily married to Risha. He's just a flirter. Part of his shtick. Probably should have flown here, but I'm not sure why it didn't tell me I could, but whatever. Oh, I couldn't. I'd have to warp here. But I hate Balmora so much. Alright, so. Right, this is the one that's outside. I remember this stupid thing.
We got the Imperial forces to follow us. A few are being stubborn.
They're guarding the facility and civilians inside put up defenses. Force fields are blocking the entrance.
I must reach the civilians.
I have plans with the locations of the generators powering those force fields. Shut those down. The facility's open.
Back to work. Be careful.
Not that this really diminishes it, Psychotic, because I agree with you, but it is worth noting this game started development in 2005. Yeah, Furt Master is like, listen, Risha, there's something I need to tell you. And Risha's like, what? What is it? And Furt Master's like, I haven't been honest with you. Reaches up and pulls off like a scalp cap, which has his terrible, terrible hair. Just kind of pulls it down. And she's like, oh. And she leaves him because she loved the hair. But it's okay, because he wins her heart back. It's a whole story. We can do a whole story arc about this. But yeah, 6 years of development time, roughly. And I mentioned the roughly because this game languished in development hell for a while. So, like, the actual initial pre-production stuff started well before 2005. Probably closer to 2002. That's just a guess, though. I don't know. Nobody knows. Except for BioWare. They aren't telling. They're dicks. Where's Giga? Where's Giga? Oh god, I lost her. Where's my dancing, delightful Twi'lek?
Perfection delivered on schedule. It was my pleasure to serve.
Seriously, I've actually lost her. Oh, whatever. Run! Death to Giga! And to the living! Yeah, totally not gonna get dismounted. It's definitely not a thing that happens in this game. Just gotta run. I actually only know a little bit of Lucas's involvement in this game. I actually have an extended theory about it. Oh, Jesus. Oh, okay, hang on. But, damn it. But it boils down to something very, very simple. I think that Lucas is personally responsible. No, that's not how I want to phrase it. That's the clickbait title. Hang on. Hang on, I'll give you the clickbait answer first. Lucas is personally responsible for the Republic sucking. There you go. There's the clickbait answer. Alright, here's the slightly less clickbait answer. I actually do legitimately think that Lucas is at least partially responsible for Republic sucking. Oh, while we're standing here.
Yes, I'll take care of it.
I promise nothing less than perfection, Master.
Damn it, casual. The Republic side of this game in particular. Sorry, I should be more clear. So you know my theory, that Republic was tacked on, and had less time and effort devoted towards it. That's so evident on screen. I'm not even sure that qualifies as a theory at this point, but in the interest of fairness, it is a theory. I do not know the truth. But either way, it is my theory that Lucas, who we know was a little bit involved and was kind of pushing for... Is that up? What is that? Is that up? That's up, isn't it? Yeah, there it is. Okay, it was pushing for a WoW. Basically handed down, I don't want to say the mandate, because that's a little bit too harsh, because in Reality Land, it's actually somewhat rare for an executive to say, do this. What usually happens instead is something much more insidious. The executive says, you know, it'd be nice if you included this. And everyone in the office listens to them because they're worried about losing their jobs if they don't. So, Lucas definitely wanted there to be, this to be more WoW-y. WoW Vanilla, specifically, or WoW BC at the time, but one remains. So it's very likely, here's the theory. I shouldn't say it's likely. My theory is that he said that, and the office listened to him, because he's George Lucas, and so they said, well, what are the things that make WoW WoW? One of the things that makes WoW WoW is the faction system. Now, if you're paying attention, I have a phrase for this kind of thing. It's called bullet point syndrome. One thing I've noticed a lot in this particular playthrough is just how much this game apes WoW without understanding why WoW did things that it did. The faction system is just one example of that. There's a huge number of things in this game that it's clear they were just looking at WoW and saying that. And while WoW Vanilla certainly was an extraordinarily flawed game, let's be very clear about that, the fact of the matter was a lot of the things they did on purpose. For reasons that don't apply here. Just look at their approach to Flashpoint design for another perfect example of this.
We're being cut down out here, Jedi. I won't let Darth Lacris win.
We placed all our concussion charges around the facility. Shockwave will kill everyone inside.
Timer's already counting down. Get everyone out now.
Please tell me those charges are on a long countdown.
Longest I could set them for still isn't long. Hurry.
I'll pull out, find the civilians you freed. Get the others and head to this outpost.
If I'm not there, report to Ty. Terminal's safe. He needs to know.
It's actually even worse than that. Your companions, you didn't have a heal option on multiple companions when you got your first companion. Because originally they didn't have the choice to be whatever. They were their specific spec. Which meant your companion choices were very limited back in vanilla.
Of course.
So in short, yeah, no, it was much worse at vanilla. That being said, I would say that vanilla Tor has better combat than vanilla WoW. However, vanilla WoW still had several things superior to vanilla Tor. Things like encounter design, enemy variety, enemy design, and of course dungeon design and boss design.
To improve upon your specifications, Master. I trust you don't mind.
Again, I'm not trying to throw too much shade here. I mean, I love this game as much as anybody else. Probably more than most people, actually. But... I actually still have my Ripper Retro. Be free! Hi, Star Wars. And hi... Someone popped in and I didn't say hi to them. I feel bad about it. It was... God, I've lost it. I've lost it! No! I've lost it in chat. If I haven't said hi to you, it's not on purpose, I swear. It was Evo! Damn you, Evo! It was you! Damn you, Andrew! No, seriously. Hi, Andrew. Hi, Evo. I really like this spec. For those of you who haven't been paying attention, I actually switched to Kinetic, which is the tank spec. This is actually pretty fun. Like, too positive territory. Hello, Giga Pudding! How is this day treating you? I'm just being German at that point, that's all that is. I also have 3 separate AoEs, which I can do, you know, pretty much at will. In fact, like, so this one has no cooldown. This one is 9 seconds cooldown, and this one's also 9 seconds cooldown. Just love it. Are we going way up there? Yeah, it looks like we are. So let's warp. Let's get in combat. Very important. I've also got a yank. I actually showed off briefly earlier. Oh yeah, so I was going to tell you how to make it. Pork loins, chop. I just got a loin, chop. Wash them. Then you'll want to pat them dry with a paper towel or something. And I know what you're thinking, but why, Lord? Hang on, I'm getting there. Okay, this is the wrong place to go to. Let's go. Screw it, let's go here. Pat them dry. Once they're dry, the meat is just a little bit sticky, which is the perfect way to go ahead and get the rub on it. So, salt, a little bit of pepper, and a very small amount of oil. Don't overdo oil. It's really easy to overdo oil. Pop that on the skillet for probably just a couple of minutes, honestly. Because what you want to do is you want to char both sides of the meat. The inside of the meat you're not cooking yet. You just want to char it initially. Yeah, thank God, Shadow Machine. Once they're sufficiently charred, you go ahead and take them out, put them in the oven, let them cook for about 10 minutes on 425, and then you'll know. You'll tell by the smell once you've spent years and years cooking. If you're not sure, use a meat thermometer. It's a good thing to double check when you're getting into cooking. Anyways, point being, once they're done, you get a little bit of... I used soy sauce in this case, but there's a lot of different bases you can use. A little bit of soy sauce, a little bit of garlic powder, a little powder, a little bit of water, and just a little bit of pepper. Mix that until it made a little bit of a thick sauce. And you want to drizzle that over the pork in the pan. Once that's drizzled, throw it back in the oven for just a couple of minutes. Because what you want is for that to kind of seep into the meat a little bit and kind of start to thicken around it, you know, to the point where it's just a little bit sticky. Then you pull the meat out, and there you go, you're good. So there you go. Easy, quick, mostly fire and forget, and it's pork. I have Chthon. I've even done the new mission. It's kind of cool, and it'll probably be a positive, but it also takes forever. Good God. Well, that was a long dungeon. Don't worry, I didn't read any of the text, because Pax and I didn't want spoilers. But we popped on last night to do our first daily of the event, and it was like, oh, okay, yep, got it. Putting the blinders on, not reading anything. And good lord, it took forever. Like, relatively speaking.
I was just wondering how I might serve you better, Master. I'll start this task immediately.
The TFO, the dungeon, the thing that you queue for. We're not doing the quests, because honestly, we're not doing that until we're good and ready to do that. You know, if you want to, Orcano, I will not mind. I will admit, I'm a little bit more used to the Republic's planets at this point. I mean, we've done them 4 times at this point. But at the same time, a lot of my attention is directed elsewhere when I'm streaming. I mean, duh, right? So, occasionally I just kind of auto-mode into the wrong place. Like, right now, nope, that actually worked out. Because, yeah, I would love to finish Consular today. That would make my day. No joke. I have played Supreme Commander. And Supreme Commander 2.
Jedi, you're alive! We've been getting reports of explosions near the holding facility. This line seems secure. First, are all the civilians safe?
We saved the people inside. But Zenith's last communication said he was being overwhelmed.
I was afraid of this. I hope he's saved. Someone's coming.
Hi, Zenith.
You should guard your back better, Jedi. You might end up like my people.
You had me worried, Zenith.
Save your worry, I'm still alive.
Balmora will never forget those who died to free her. I swear.
At least the civilians, real Balmorans, are safe. And we got information.
I was in that place, Jedi. If you're looking for President Gultha, I know where they got him.
Is he a captive? Or Darth Lacris's accomplice?
I don't know, sir. I just saw him being smuggled in and out of the Balmoran arms factory by the Imperials.
A word to the Resistance could have saved him sooner.
What if someone had sold me out to the Empire, huh?
Darth Lacris isn't stupid. She'll guess Gultha's location is out. If I were her, I'd move him right away. If the President vanishes, we'll have a long, slow slog ahead of us. Jedi, I need you to get him out of the factory.
I'm going with you. Darth Lacris has lived too long.
I don't want you involved. You're dangerous and irresponsible.
I'll be good. Plus, you need me. Only I know the factory's defense shutdown codes. You won't reach the President without me.
You can come, but we have a higher purpose than revenge.
I'll try to remember. Factory's big. I'll go on ahead and scout. Meet me at this position outside. There's a beacon there. Input this code, and I'll find you.
I can't be signed into power without a committee of Balmora's citizens. Sir, if I find you a refuge, would you help me call them together?
Sure, Mr. Corden. You can count on me.
Be careful in there, both of you. Balmoran Arms is an Imperial stronghold, and Darth Lacris might be expecting you.
Oh my god, Giga, what are you doing now? So, Oh, I know, Evo. I can't wait to get there. It's gonna be a minute, but we'll get there. Here we go. Okay, so that probably means here. How far up can I trace my family tree? On my father's side, only up 3 steps. My great-grandfather actually fled here from Lebanon. And that's kind of where the trail ends with him. We don't know anything about his family, or where they're from, or anything. It took us a while to figure out any information about him. And even that, we know for a fact that the name we have is not his birth name. On my mother's side, well, I'm going to not talk about that. That goes up quite a ways. A lot of German, bit of Prussian, bit of Romanian, bit of Russian. Anyways. What do you think about the choices in one game being made inconsequential in the next to prevent too much story divergence? You use Witcher as an example, but actually Command & Conquer is a good example, too.
My results were less than ideal, Master.
So...
no excuse for this failure.
In my opinion, most of those kind of choices... that is to... Sorry, let me explain what I mean by that. Most of the situations where the developer has to make a choice in order to try and prevent that kind of thing from happening is an unfortunate situation as a result of not planning in advance. So... something like, for example, let me use a direct example. Command & Conquer. In the case of Command & Conquer, they didn't really have a choice. The two factions were extremely mutually exclusive, and therefore, by definition, one of them had to be the canon answer, right? So, you know, that person just evade bug. Sure, whatever. Anyways. Now, the reason for that, though, is because of the nature of how they made Command & Conquer 1. Command & Conquer 2 had to pick one, just like Command & Conquer 3 had to pick one.
It's a bad place to be hanging around. Activity spiked inside. Security changes, transport arrangements. Guess Darth Lacris is about to move the president.
There's no way I'll let her get away with it.
Passwords are all being changed. You'll need me to get to her. Let's go, Jedi.
Okay. Now, if you know anything about me, you know based on the music that I have playing right now that I'm going somewhere with this. Because, you know, back when Blizzard actually had some goddamn talent in their crew, they recognized pretty quickly the narrative problem of having an RTS where you always had to pick one side that was canonically correct. And that was for an RTS. But of course, Blizzard, especially early on, especially Metzen, was always very concerned with story. It was a big deal for them, which is, I suppose, weird to think about in modern tense, but it's still true. So, they came up with a compromise. They would design StarCraft in order to be such a way that StarCraft 2 could acknowledge the events of whatever happened before. And so we have Terrans leading into Zerg, leading into Protoss. Now, frankly, I think that was actually brilliant. I think that was one of the best possible things they could have done in that situation. No, Metzen decided to go off and make his little pen and paper game he'd been making for years into a real thing. I think Metzen's actually pretty happy with that. Although, yeah, I'm pretty sure he's pretty pissed at what they did to his baby, because... let's just say that the more I study Blizzard games, the more I find out how Metzen, individually and personally, was responsible for a lot of the lore that goes into StarCraft, Diablo, and Warcraft. Let me give one example. This is a recent one for me. I didn't know this until I was doing some research for the Diablo rewrite. Did you know that the Skeleton King, all of that was Metzen? Leoric, his connection to Aiden, their connection to Albrecht, everything to do with... God damn it. Okay. Their connection with, like, the kingdom of Honduras, and Leoric being a major figure and all that stuff. All of that came from Metzen, who looked at a generic mob that was labeled the Skeleton King and said, I can make a story about that. And then he did.
Who do you need dead? Not very subtle. Let me. President should be close by. Let's go.
I mean, there's nothing really wrong with that, Trithon, within reason. Hell, I kind of do the same thing. It's really easy to get lost in the weeds writing characters. Real quick, thank you, Wraith. Oh, hang on. Thank you, Wraith. I will jot that down for Resident Evil 8. Give me a minute. I should totally make a Happy Hut emote for the chat.
More meddling in my affairs. This is beyond tiresome, Zenith. I decreed that Balmora would not become a forced labor world, and my reward? Your insolent little rebellion. Now this resistance government. You've given him delusions of grandeur, Jedi. But Balmora is mine.
That man is mine.
Oh, precious. You actually think this fool president is of use to anyone? Even Thord he can't help you. Your government is doomed. How sad.
You're a dead woman.
Seconded. My followers demand revenge.
I'm not without mercy. I'll grant you a swift death, rather than make you witness your plans tumbling down.
Well, sorry, Sith Warrior. We have to kill your one true love. Let me catch that lightning on the air here. Don't mind me.
Battlefield's the best teacher.
What the hell? Did you see that? I was just channeling that for 90 seconds.
No, not yet. You don't understand. You've destroyed everything. You've...
Lacris is actually interesting. No joke. I feel kind of bad killing her.
Never been happier to outlive someone. One death's too good for her.
We'll talk about her more when we get to the Sith Warrior
she said before
stuff.
About the president. Sounded too... honest.
And, I guess Balmora bonus, I want to say. Dang. Oh, Lacris is under Mar. I didn't know that.
I sensed no deceit when she spoke.
I can get President Galtha back to the safe house, start his thaw. Meet me there.
I mean, that tracks.
Be quick. Something's not right.
I was going to say, I think Lacris is actually the bonus, so we won't be seeing her on Sith Warrior. Damn it! We can't have sex with Lacris. Shucks. Ow. Really? Back to Bugtown? Oh my god. Anyways, so, to finish my discussion here, Lothario. My TED Talk. Obviously, that applies to an RTS more than it does to an RPG. But I do still think that you can design your RPG in a manner so that choices matter across... Let me walk this back a second. There's an interesting paradox when it comes to designing an RPG with choices involved. Because you want player choices to matter, but you can't let player choices matter. Now, that is a fine line, and it is walkable. I've seen games do it before. It's much harder to do than it sounds. What it really boils down to is you want decisions that the players make to primarily matter in a way that doesn't affect things long term. And that involves looking at the story much more like pieces of a puzzle than actual literary events. You know, don't think of it like historically. Don't think of it like the butterfly effect. Think about how you can effectively make something matter, but not really affect anything. Like you kind of separate it a little bit from the overall narrative. So the overall narrative doesn't change, but this thing over here changes. And this can then pop up, but no matter how this changes, all it does is change the name or the face that's popping up in the main narrative. I'm probably doing a terrible job of visualizing this, but that's how you do that.
Ty's gone to meet his citizens committee, coming to witness their new president's inauguration. Hooray for the resistance. Darth Lacris got the last laugh. Meet our noble president.
Lonely. Gone. All. Who? No more. No more.
Let's try words, shall we?
Nothing to say. Ran out.
Imperial torture shattered him. He can't hand over power. Lacris knew. No. The Empire can't win. We must fix this.
I know a technique that helps people driven mad by darkness.
Then try it.
It's okay, I don't mind healing him. He's a politician, not a Jedi. And remember, we're basically playing Palpatine at this point.
No. Can't be. Can't be. Go away.
Feared this. He's broken, not corrupted.
Damn.
Corporations donated medical technology. There's a spinal implant, hacks into the brain and muscle functions. He'd speak properly, sign his name. Experimental tech, though. Wouldn't last long, and it might kill him. But Ty will be in power, and I doubt the president would want to live like this.
We can't fail now. Not when we're so close. Do it.
Good. I'll make arrangements.
Much better.
Still will make Goltha look more alert. Get one from the Republic outpost. I'll stall Ty.
Much more beneficial outcome there. Listen, Cashel. Done's for me, Senator. Anyways. So. One of the other things you can do is offer one or two macro changes that like really limit. Where am I going? Where's this thing? There it is. God, this map. It was hidden under another icon. The Daily Heroic quest icon. Even. That's even funnier. Macro changes. So make just a couple of macro changes. And they'll allow those to actually change things on a substantial level. That still means you're going to have to plan and you know, design around the idea that there's going to be some major changes in the next game or the next expansion or whatever. But planning around 1 or 2 major changes is a lot easier than planning around 50. A lot more doable. And the idea of macro also isn't as large as it needs to be. Like, for example, maybe you change something that changes the fate of a kingdom. So the next time that kingdom is relevant, you know, it changes things, but it doesn't still change the overall narrative of the entire work. Honestly, to be completely blunt, Dragon Age Origins to Dragon Age Inquisition is probably one of the better examples of this I've seen, because no matter what you do in Dragon Age Inquisition, you're still the Inquisitor. You still get the thing in your hand, you've still got to deal with the warped bubbles. Jackass still shows up, he still tries to sway the sides, etc., right? So, the broad strokes are still the same, but Inquisition actually does a pretty good job of acknowledging a lot of your choices leading up to that. PoE 2 is another similar example. PoE 2 actually changes in several substantial ways, depending on what you did in PoE 1.
Shh. Have the stem? Excellent. Just in time.
We heard about Darth Lacris. Citizens are already rising up in Sobrik. The occupation is ending. Sir, it's marvelous to see you again. My exile was too long.
Ty, is that you? You look older.
Yes, sir. I've been gone for years. Is he all right?
He's just survived a terrible ordeal. Show some respect.
I'm sorry, sir. I wish we'd reached you sooner.
I cannot continue in my position. Ty, I must pass my role on to you.
Good. He can follow his script.
Before I retire from public life, I, President Gultha, hereby transfer all the powers of my office as president to Ty Corden.
As citizens of Balmora, we bear witness to this decision, made of your own free will.
I accept, sir, and I will strive to be a worthy successor.
Both Zenith and I made great sacrifices to bring you here.
I haven't forgotten, Jedi. As my first act, I've drafted a formal request for Balmora to join the Republic.
Is there anything you'd like to say on this historic occasion, Master Jedi?
You all stand on the threshold of a new beginning. For Balmora, and for the Republic that waits to embrace you.
And I hope the Jedi Order will always be a part of that future. I have a few points of business to finish aboard your ship before I leave, Jedi. And there's a matter we three need to discuss in private. Zenith, perhaps you should join us there.
I really like playing Consular pure evil. Not pure dark, pure evil. This is fun. I actually agree, Inamisha. There are several choices that are very well reflected in Mass Effect 3. It's one of the reasons I enjoyed the game at a point, to a point.
A remarkable achievement. Balmora couldn't ask for a better leader. Here, Jedi, I'll authorize Ty's request for Republic membership.
Hey, Ty, you'd better get started on an heir. Presidents have heirs, right?
You know, Nadia, I'm really going to miss you.
Jedi has what she wanted, Ty. Balmora and the Republic. Now I want a seat in your government.
It's the least you owe him.
I'm sorry, Zenith. You've proved your loyalty, but I won't have you in my government. To truly free Balmora, we must purge the ideas the Empire forced on us. You've learned too much from them.
That's not what you said when you needed Zenith's followers to die for you.
You become president. My men get unmarked graves.
I can compromise. I need a liaison between Balmora and the Rift Alliance, and a berth here just opened up. You'll have political pull and input on my decisions, just not on Balmora. Is that acceptable?
Jedi does what's necessary. Could work out.
I'm sure your skills and experience will continue to serve us well.
Sure, since Jedi attract fighting.
I've ordered thousands of new battle droids for the Republic. I'll stay in touch over Holo. Balmora is waiting. I and my planet will never forget what you both did. Thank you.
My apologies, everyone. Could you excuse us for a moment?
Jedi, I found something under our communications array. Look.
I don't recognize that. Did Theron install it?
The Republic database says it's an Imperial monitoring device. Only someone on board would know where to plant it, right?
The Empire knows a communications array when it sees one.
Maybe, but I thought you should know. It deactivated itself when I picked it up, so it's safe now.
That isn't our only concern.
It's also not good.
I'd better keep this brief. What do you know of a world called Quesh?
It's a dumb, stupid side planet that can go to hell?
Far too little, I'm afraid.
Quesh is a contested planet, simply overflowing with valuable chemicals. So the Rift Alliance built a research facility there, at a station. The station has developed amazing healing technology, some new weapons too. But they've dropped out of contact, and Imperial troops were sighted nearby. The others didn't want you to know.
Thank you for bringing this information to me.
They're still deciding the best course of action. Isn't that what they accuse the Republic of always doing? Atta Station houses the Rift Alliance's finest minds, and the technology and weapons they've developed mustn't fall into Imperial hands.
I will do everything in my power to help.
Thank you, thank you. I just wish I knew more about the situation there.
We'll find out when we arrive, won't we, Jedi?
We? Young lady, you are not setting foot on Quesh. It's far too dangerous.
But Father, Atta Station was built with our world's technology. If someone's using the defenses, I can get inside.
If anything happened to you, I'd never forgive myself.
You won't have to protect me. Promise. Just focus on saving the station and our scientists.
As you wish, Nadia. Apparently, responsibility is a lesson you don't need.
Then it's settled. Once you're on Quesh's surface, I'll catch up with you. If our station's even scratched, I'll teach those Imperials a lesson.
Who's ready for Quesh? The greatest of all side quests. That's an interesting idea. I wonder what we could do with Nadia. Love this song. So let me update the HUD, because it's actually a little bit out of date after Balmora. Actually up to... here. Yep, there we go. Yes. Yes. Can it be done, Andrew? So Kubik posits the idea of agent and smuggler swapping. A Republic agent forced to make bad choices, and a smuggler working in the ruthless Empire. So, this is an awful proviso, but I would only be okay with that if we kept the Cabal. Because I love the Cabal's inclusion into the story. For God's sakes. Right! Last time we'll be seeing this quest on these characters.
Why would the...
There'll be an Imperial version when we get there. Okay. Moving on. Oh my god, I don't care. No, we can't romance Nadia because we're female. Although this is a character going into the expansions. In our hearts, we can. I don't know. Do you think Nadia would be worthy of Queen Palpatine? I mean, Queen Vitorica. Looks like it's actually up here. Absolutely not, Crazy Norse. That's just the Dragon Age 2 lazy approach, which I spit on primarily because of how lazy it is. That's the, I mean, making characters is hard problem. So, now, that being said, there is a logic behind it. So let's discuss that. Let's discuss bisexuality. That's a great thing to discuss on my channel. For real, though, hear me out, because this is very relevant to game design. Actually, it's relevant to all writing. In a video game, you have conflicting problems here, and this is true, not just with regards to this subject, but a lot of subjects. Let's pull this away from romance for just a second. Let's get some, this music. Oh, this is perfect music. This is exactly what I want. So, ignore romance for just a moment. You have a game which has party members. It could be a Final Fantasy game. It could be a Dragon Age game. Whatever. In that game, before you do anything else, you have a decision to make. And that decision is, how much do you want to lean on the scale between hyper-specialization and total homogenization? Now, if you're wondering about the distinction between these two, it's very simple. Hyper-specialization is where each individual character that you can join you is very distinct and different from each other, which of course means that if you want a healer, or if you want a tank, or if you want a whatever, then what you're going to have to do is bring the tank or the healer. Or maybe you want the paladin, or maybe you want the summoner, or maybe you want the bard. It doesn't matter, right? So, in that case, what you want to do is you want to have hyper-specialization, but that, of course, goes in opposition to player choice. The player does not have the option to decide to bring whatever character they want to. They have to bring characters that they need to. One moment.
Sorry, there were Imperial soldiers wandering around. I had to hide for a bit.
Oh, hang on. We'll give her... What's her theme? What is her theme?
You should always be mindful of your welfare. But I could use your help.
Oh, let me take care of that. We built an manual release just in case. Now where? It's awfully quiet in there. I hope everyone's all right. I have to get this door closed before the atmosphere contaminates the station. I'll meet you inside.
So, the opposite is, of course, total homogenization. That's actually close to what Tor has. It's not one-to-one, because this is a gradient. But the idea of homogenization is bring whoever you want to. Final Fantasy VII is a good example of this. Final Fantasy X is a good example of this. Final Fantasy XIIs are a good example of this. All of these are games where you just bring whoever the hell you want to bring, because you can turn them into anything. The only real difference is the fact that you happen to like that particular character, and or you like their cosmetics, their animations, their casting, whatever, it doesn't matter. Okay. We'll go counterclockwise. Let's do it. I like it. Now, to be very, very clear about this, neither of these approaches are superior to the other. That's honestly the point. It's just a matter of which you value more. Do you want the player to be able to choose what they want, or do you want to have more tightly crafted and interesting game design? Laurel doesn't really have a theme. That's part of the problem. The only theme she has is basically the Sorrow song. See you later, Trithon. Have a good one. Now, what does this have to do with romance? Everything. Because romance is, in many ways, an aspect of player choice. It is a gameplay decision to allow the player to romance A, B, or C at their will. So, what do you value more? Player choice or better design? Same exact equation applies. Would you rather make more properly designed characters, who are more fleshed out and more nuanced and just better written? Or would you rather have the player have the option to romance whoever they want to? Same concept. Same exact concept. Now, I will admit, after years and years and years of game analysis and playing and all that fun stuff, I used to be more on the homogenization side of things. Nowadays, I lean a lot heavier towards the specialization side of things. In my opinion, both for story and for gameplay, the hyper-specialization makes for just generally more interesting stuff. More interesting gameplay, more interesting characters, more interesting story. So, the relevance here, then, this goes all the way back to Crazy Norse's original question. Should all companions be bi? Absolutely not. That's the homogenization choice. Instead, deciding that character is interested in this, that character is interested in this, and that character is interested in this is a bit more manually crafted, specifically trying to design the characters and having the possibility and capacity to make that actually a part of their character rather than a checkbox that allows the player to romance them if they want to. My take. Now, granted, I will also admit I don't really have much of a horse in this particular race, because I'm not really much of one for romance in video games unless it's actually done properly, which it so rarely is. But I still stand behind that statement firmly.
The airlock's closed. We're safe. These are the people who attacked the station? Who are they?
Stay close. These Sith are cutting down all resistance.
Like the ones on the Fortitude, when you rescued us. There must be somebody still alive. We built at a station to survive anything. Yes, here. Some of the science staff are in another wing, behind a security door.
Just open the door so we can get those people out.
No, wait! I can't open it yet! Look, there's an entire group of Sith headed that way. If they get in, the scientists... It'll be like the Fortitude again.
Just like I said, these Republic scum have bolt holes everywhere. Let's get rid of them before the Sith take credit.
No, I won't let it happen again. I won't. Go. Get my override code from the console and protect the scientists. I'll handle this.
Okay.
Then may the Force be with you, Nadia.
Ah! You'll end up on a dissecting table for that, girl.
You'll have to catch me first.
And off she goes. Oh, I guess we'll kill these guys while we're here. For the record, I do think Dragon Age Inquisition did it substantially better than Dragon Age 2. Because, I mean, duh, I suppose. Okay. Interesting. I will also say, I know this is going to sound heretical, but I actually thought the romance design in Cyberpunk was really well done. One of the things that amused me was how many people disagreed with me about that, which actually just proved my point. One of the things I mentioned in Cyberpunk was that the relationship with, I can't remember her name, the brain dance girl, was written so that it works equally well as either friendship or romantic. In both directions, it is someone you're very close to, but depending on your perspective, it can be seen as either.
Talent for interrupting my work, Jedi. But you're not alone. That girl's here too, yes? Fascinating. What's her name?
And who might you be?
I am Lord Kyrus, and you're supposedly a Jedi Master, though this is a poor beginning. Wouldn't Master Sayo or Yuon have your diplomats in line by now? A Jedi enslaved to bureaucrats, and they still don't trust you. Senator Grell didn't even bother making excuses for them, did he?
I have no idea what you mean.
At least those diplomats have taught you something. When to lie. I know you, Jedi. I know everything you've heard, everything you've done. I know you killed my servant, Arax, to save the girl. And I saw the Fortitude crash into Doralia's moon, the damage it caused. Freeing Balmorra cannot undo that. I'll be interested to see where your path leads next, Jedi. Goodbye.
Yeah, we'll kill him later. I got stuff to do. What's up? Don't. The station's yours. Don't kill anyone else.
If I was with them, you'd be dead already. Get up.
Oh, you're that Jedi who's helping our homeworlds. Oh, thank the progenitor, who's dead. We're used to chemical spills, supply shortages, and blackouts. But Sith? What did we ever do to them? Anyway, thank you.
It is a Jedi's duty to protect the innocent from harm.
Wait, Jedi, before you leave, let us help you. With our equipment destroyed, we can only continue one of our big projects. You decide which one, and you'll get our most promising discoveries in that field. We have a classified weapons program, which is inspired by Quesh's toxins, and a breakthrough in medical technology. No light or dark side here. Medical tech.
I'd like to see the benefits of this healing technology you've discovered.
Alright, might work even better with a Jedi's metabolism.
There you are, Jedi. See? I said I'd be fine. I checked the station. It's all clear. I'm heading back to the ship before Father starts fretting. I'll meet you there.
Better go, Jedi. We'll be in touch. And back to the ship. And that was Quesh. I like to think of it as playing as Palpatine, Crazy Norse. No, seriously. The game has been letting me play as Palpatine. I'm just going to embrace it.
I took the liberty of dusting your quarters, Master. Your respiratory health is one of my...
Oh, right. Before I forget, I should be doing these regularly. Get myself more dark.
So you need a professional.
Need all that.
I promise nothing less than perfection.
Jedi, we can guess what this is about.
We'd like to formally apologize for keeping attestation classified from you.
Mistrust is a luxury we cannot afford.
I regret not taking that to heart sooner.
Please don't be angry with us. We're very grateful you saved the station. We'll need twice the guards to protect that medical research from the Empire.
Spend the credits and hire them. Those medicines could be an investment for years.
If you've all quite finished, the Jedi and I have matters to discuss. Alone.
I think Dark 3 is when we get the veins.
Thank you for protecting my Nadia.
I'm not sure.
She told me you saw her outburst. I imagine you want an explanation.
Her talents appear unique. What is she?
I was almost hoping you could tell me. The Republic calls them Force abilities, but to me they're Nadia's gifts. Her powers are stronger than many Jedi, but unpredictable. I hoped she would learn from you, from your experience.
Nadia might benefit from some basic Jedi instruction.
In time, certainly. But for now, I think she has some growing up to do. My daughter looks up to you. Please, keep being her example.
Oh, I will.
Station's researchers said a Lord Kairos contacted you. Didn't he order the attack on the Fortitude where we all met?
Lord Kairos has been monitoring us since we left the Fortitude.
That monitoring device Nadia found. It seems we do have a traitor on board.
I should be able to sense any treachery through the Force.
Naturally. Still, the evidence is there. Perhaps if we act normally, our guest will leave another clue. In the meantime, there may be another way for you to help the Rift Alliance. A group of our soldiers on Hoth has run into a difficult situation.
Hoth?
What do you mean by difficult situation?
Hoth is infested with pirates who harass our shipping lanes, so we formed a coalition force to handle them. A quick mission, we thought, but those pirates just can't be defeated, and the Republic won't spare any help.
I think this bears investigation.
We can explain more when we arrive at Hoth. Until then, watch your back, Jedi.
Wait, we get a companion on Hoth? Really? Yes, we will be watching your career with great interest, Nadia. Okay, real talk. I don't remember the companion. Don't tell me. I want to be surprised when we get to him.
We've made some progress on the Van Drake generator. The initial equations have been difficult, but with Holiday's help, I'm almost ready to progress. I've just hit a minor obstacle. I find myself needing your help, dear Jedi.
I sense I'm not going to like where this is headed.
It's a moment's diversion, nothing more. I find myself in need of inspiration. On Nar Shaddaa, a particular spiced wine was a marvelous tonic. A friend has offered to send me a case, if I get him an audience with the Jedi Council.
If he was a true friend, he would just send you the wine.
He sees an opportunity. There's nothing wrong with that. Now, I have a message for the Council ready for your signature. What do you say?
The Council won't mind, I'm sure.
You are a paragon of compassion and understanding. My case of wine should arrive forthwith, and all shall be well. Thank you. The equations are done, and we're about to start building the actual Van Drake generator itself. But we're finding components hard to come by. My suppliers are being ludicrously unreasonable. What's an unpaid bill here or there? If only I could regain my supplier's favor, with, say, a note promising payment will be made, signed by someone trustworthy.
No one's more honorable than Kaizen. Let's ask him.
Jedi, don't be silly. You know who he means.
You have the power to do me an immense kindness with one little signature. I'd be eternally grateful.
Settling your debts will improve your reputation, and your suppliers will be more helpful.
That'll take every credit I possess. Do you want me destitute?
I pay for your room and board and food.
Would you rather be a poor man with a Van Drake generator, or a rich man whose dreams are unfulfilled?
Blasted Jedi logic! If you won't help, bankruptcy may be my only salvation. I'd better get it over with.
Hey, your damn bills! Moving on. Harold, I would be goodness to speak with you.
Talk about whatever you wish, Kaizen.
No point to make, but would be distraction from fasting. It's part of thingy, part of rite of passage to deny food. But always when I hunger, I hunt. To hunger for days is new.
This hunger is just another foe. One you defeat with strength and focus.
It's true, Harold. I will remember. It's been long since I heard from anyone completing thingy. It's rare for hunters to live long enough for thingy, true, but none completing for years has never been so.
What has changed, do you think?
It's a dangerous time, Harold, and thingy is hard. Perhaps hunters lose heart. After fasting, thingy continues. I drink thingy on medicine hang on. I drink Nakas leaf medicine on empty stomach. Force skin to molt. It is rebirth.
Such medicine would certainly induce a molt, along with vomiting, fever, and burning pain in the sinuses.
It's part of thingy. It's tradition. Sickness is nothing.
I could make you a medicine from our supplies that will induce molting without any side effects.
Ah, it's tradition! But perhaps Scorekeeper speaks through you, Harold. I will trust. Make this medicine.
Drink this in some hot water. You'll start molting by tomorrow.
It's great kindness you do, Harold. I will not forget. Thingy continues and rebirth begins with Scorekeeper's blessings.
That's what friends are for, Kaizen.
I still hope to repay you one day, Harold. Until skin is fully shed before Scorekeeper, I am not dead, not alive. For a short time, I gain no points until rebirth is complete.
After you've completed your rebirth, what happens then?
Thingy near's end. Need molted skin to complete fully. I will explain when it's time. It's shame. Remember Bob? Little one from Tatooine who went to Dusk Shadow? Bob said an opportunity would soon pass. Perhaps when Thingy is over, will still be time. Also, I just finished making this thing for you. Thanks. Yep, Kaizen's actually secretly running around cleaning the ship. Is that it? That is it. Okay, whatever. So before we go to Hoth, I'm going to AFK very briefly. Ugh, to take away a mug. Be right back.
Plan worked out nice. Right away.
We're just getting clearance for Hoth, Jedi. Won't be a minute.
Clearance. Public bureaucracy. Do we look like pirates?
The Republic has a right to be careful. The White Maw is cunning. The vast frozen wasteland is quite the place to hide.
The Jedi archives say Hoth is the coldest inhabited planet in the galaxy. Nothing but ice and snow.
They forgot pirates, scavengers, and monsters.
The White Maw is the largest pirate band in the galaxy. A splinter group has been attacking the shipping lanes to our worlds.
That's actually horrific looking. We sent a coalition force of some of our best soldiers to fight them, and
the
somehow
Republic won't waste more men to save them.
they're doomed.
Fools. Now there's a risk of mutiny. Our coalition might abandon Hoth altogether.
How is it this White Maw is giving your soldiers so much trouble?
The reports we've had are very, very strange. None of them make sense.
We're giving you command of our coalition force. Find out what's happening, and get rid of those pirates so our men can come home. The only soldier still bothering to send a daily report is Lieutenant Felix Ireso, the officer in charge. He's at the Republic base.
With a little help, your coalition will finish those pirates and get out safely.
There. That's what we've been hoping to hear.
There's two of him.
There's
Two
our
of him.
clearance.
Two of him.
Quite aside from the White Maw, Hoth's cold enough to freeze you solid.
So for the fourth time, I'm going to give everybody who hasn't seen this yet a visual warning. Hoth is unpleasantly bright. Don't worry, I'll only be giving this warning 4 more times. Unless Ilum is that bad. I don't think it is, but we'll see. mean, Hoth at night still is badly designed, but at least it wouldn't literally hurt the eyes.
I'm telling you, LT, getting out today is our best chance. Maybe our only chance.
Private Kree, I've noted your complaint. Twice. Now kindly put a sock in it before... Hey! See, guys? Just when it seems bleak, in walks a Jedi. Welcome.
I heard some pirates were making life difficult for you. Perhaps I can assist.
Sounds good to me. I'm Lieutenant Felix Oreso, the ranking officer.
A Jedi? So what? Captain Valon will finish her off like he did Dask and Antilles.
The private is referring to a White Maw foot soldier who became a major player overnight. When Valon and his followers started harassing the Outer Rim, they sent us in.
The LT forgot the best part, Jedi. Valon can't die.
Yes, Lieutenant. You should really have opened with a joke.
It's true, we've tried everything.
We even collapsed an ice tunnel on Valon. Next day, he's fighting us again.
Now he's stolen our thermal bore device. This is over. We're leaving today.
Enough back chat. All of you, dismissed. Sorry, they're getting twitchy. Valon's putting up a fight, and he'll have plans for that thermal bore device.
Your soldiers seem to believe that Valon is immortal.
Sure, Valon's tough, but no one's unstoppable. I'm more worried about the device he stole. Set that device in the wrong place, the ice shelf will crack, and this base is history. Recovering the thermal bore might help morale, but my guys won't fight Valon again.
I can bring that device back for you.
I appreciate the help. If we don't get the device back, my guys will pack up and leave. Today. According to its transponder, the device is in an old Imperial science lab. It's not far. I'll be here, trying to stop a mutiny. Watch your back around Valon, Jedi. I've seen him fight, and it's not pretty.
The Lataria mentioned, since my dad's ancestry is from Lebanon, did I know they have done genetic studies? Oh god, my eyes. And found there's a 90% similarity between Lebanese and ancient Phoenicians. No, I did not know that, although that makes sense. Think about it. Thank you. I'm gonna assume that was Orkano? Uh-oh. Can I not? Okay, no, I'm cool, I'm cool. Yay! Mob skipping for the win. Death to mobs. And to the living. Oh, shoot, speaking of which. Death. So remind me to mention something when we finish, Hoth. Let's see here. Did smuggling get a positive golden number? Yes. Do I think Consular will surpass that? I sure hope so. Do I think the reason Mass Effect Legendary Edition came out is so players can prep their saves for importing to Mass Effect 4? No, I think they wanted to make more money. With relatively little effort.
Jedi. Perfect. You must be looking for me, Captain Valon. Soon to command every pirate on Hoth. But you don't have to kneel or anything.
You're pretty arrogant, aren't you?
From a Jedi. That's like an expert opinion. I was flattered. A whole coalition army sent just to kill me. But it got old, so I'm glad for something new. Nice day, pretty lady. Maybe I'll let you go. For now. Better hurry before the device goes off.
I'll destroy anything and everything that threatens the Republic.
Cute. I don't do threats. I'm unique. The galaxy hasn't seen a man like me since Nock Drayan wiped out half the Hutt cartel in one night. My legend's just begun. How about being the first Jedi I ever kill?
Sure. Let's do it.
recommend swimmingly, of course.
And he's dead. Completely by myself, too. No companion and no help. Hey, Morganite. Oh, sure, here, let me eat my food. I drain the life of the people I murder. Yep.
Finished. Next.
Perfection delivered on schedule. It was my pleasure to serve.
This will be trivial. I'll see it done.
Your peace of mind is my highest priority. Rest assured, this will be done to perfection.
There are med kits, yeah. I gotta be honest. I used them a lot back in the day. And so I kind of deliberately don't use them nowadays as kind of a protest. Oh, you missed it, Evo.
Hey, you're back. With one thermal bore device, safe and sound. Maybe I can salvage this up after all. Seems Captain Valan met his match. Guess we softened him up for you, huh?
With Valan dead, I imagine you're all eager to get off this world.
Every time I turn around, my men are standing closer to the landing pad. Thank you for this. You're, really not how I imagined a Jedi Master to... sorry, priority call.
Thought I'd find you skulking there, Jedi. You're gonna pay for that insult. You and the Republic.
A fake hologram can't fool me. I know Captain Valan is dead.
Think you're pretty smart, don't you? Try your brain on this. We just found the heat exchanger for all the Republic bases. Might have ransomed it back, too. But since you crossed me, it's history. And you all freeze.
That son of a... My men will be back from exercise soon. They can't know Valan's alive.
I saw Valan die. I felt it.
I'm not calling you a liar, but that was Valan. I'm positive. My men can't find out. I could take them to pick off Valan's scouting parties, build up their morale, but everyone will die without that heat exchanger.
There's quite enough hysteria in your unit already. Now, what are our priorities?
Priority 1 is the heat exchanger. We better take that in case Valan shows up. There's a Republic outpost here. We can use while we're tracking those scouts. Come report to us when the exchanger's safe. I don't believe in ghosts, but this is... good luck.
You better believe in ghosts. You are one. Wait, that doesn't work. Look, the point is... Force ghosts are a thing. Alright, now. Ah! How many points do you think the Sith Emperor will be worth for a Trandoshan? 3. Who's the strongest of the Daedric princes? Sheogorath. Unless you mean politically, in which case Azura.
Greetings. You are cleared for the following travel routes.
What about the lightsaber pike? Do I prefer the lightsaber staff? Everything? Yeah, I'm gonna go with everything. First of all, it's a light spear, which is awesome. Second of all, I do like the animations for it. Third of all, I think just in general it looks cool. And fourth of all, it's a light spear. Cashel says, why does nobody have to use the bathroom in Star Wars? So, after Star Trek actually canonically made the bathroom exist, Star Wars was like, yeah, we can do better than that, and just Shanna's it out of existence. We did, although not on the Consular, Blade Tuvol. mean, if we're being honest, there's only two reasons for bathrooms to exist in fiction. If they're going to get killed by the monster in there, or if they're going to get killed by something else in there. That's kind of the options. Where's this taking me to? Where is this taking me to? Wait, okay, I see it. Okay. Oh, that's true, that's true. Sometimes they have a sex scene in there which immediately leads to someone dying. See Snakes on a Plane for an example of that. Or arguably X-Men 2. Both of which do it to the same purpose. Is that? That is. Sorry, Kaizen. Ignore these champion mobs for no reason. Don't mind me.
Finished. You did choose the best.
Just don't mind me. Best X-Men movie? By memory? So I'm going to go ahead and say something that nobody's going to agree with. I think the MCU did a better job with superhero movies as a concept than the X-Men movies did. Pretty much across the board.
This will be trivial.
Having said that, and yes I do, it's my number 7 right there. Having said that, the reason I bring that up is because basically every X-Men movie, even the better ones, kinda suck to some extent or another. Like, not across the board, but they have pretty big asterisks you have to attach to them. So, like, X-Men 2, yeah, except when it's not. First Class, yeah, except when it's not, and so forth and so on. Having said all of that, I would actually say that X-Men First Class is probably my favorite by memory. Although there's another one, and I can't even think of the name of it. It's the one right after Apocalypse? Hang on. X-Men movies. Well, let's have a look quick, 'cause I can't remember the name of it. Whoop. Days of Future Past had some good moments, too. So, Days of Future Past and First Class are the two that probably sit at the top of the list for me. I admittedly wasn't counting Logan, because in almost every way it's not an X-Men movie. If we're counting Logan, I would probably push Logan to the top of that list. Yeah, that's it didn't even occur to me to consider Logan because it's kind of its own thing. Like, not just because of the fact that it's focused on Logan and because the tone of it is different, the style of it is different, the approach is different. It's also an extraordinarily dark film. You know what the darkest thing was in Logan for me? Can you guess before I tell you? Yeah, it's extreme. They play Star Wars music. They just play Star Wars music, Mitch Connor. And Star Wars music is extraordinarily copywronged. Like, blocked in all countries, copywronged. Ah, Pillars of Snow figured it out immediately. Yeah, it's the corn thing. It's the corn thing. Didn't know we could rocket boot while stealthed. The corn thing is so many levels of messed up that, honestly, I have trouble even processing it properly. That is horrific. Deadpool... so, okay, valid. I wasn't thinking of the Deadpool movies as MCU films. Or, I'm sorry, X-Men films. Wow. We will be thinking of them as MCU films soon, if everything is going according to plan.
Must have had an off day.
So anyways.
I found a way to improve upon your specifications, Master. I trust you don't mind.
If I was to include the Deadpools amongst the X-Men, which, to be very clear, I do not, I would probably shove Deadpool 1 just above Logan. With then Logan, then First Class, then Days of Future Past, then Logan, or excuse me, Logan 2, then Deadpool 2. What did I not like about First Class? Lots of things. Lots of little things. But lots of things. Lots of little details is the answer to that. I will also say that they completely misuse Matthias Shaw, which is a shame, because he's also one of the better parts of the film. Whatever his stupid name is. Here, come here for a sec.
Who do you need dead? Okay.
Last I checked, though, Deadpool was already on track to becoming an MCU property. Like, aren't they literally currently working on Deadpool 3? Granted, last I heard about that was almost a year ago. That's what I thought, Pillars just now. Anyways. If Jedi are capable of moving at close to light speeds, why do they need speeders? So, if they move at light speed, they have to eat, like, burgers every second, or they die. And so they have to make sure to eat all the developing nations' food, just all at once. And cause thousands of other people to starve horrifically, so they can keep moving at light speed. It's really quite messed up if you think about it.
So you need a professional.
I was just wondering how I might serve you better, Master. I'll start this task immediately.
That is why I like the lightsaber spear. Look at that.
Excellent. In position and right on time. Good to know we still have well-informed friends.
Imperials have no friends. Only people they haven't betrayed yet.
Now, Jedi, our orders are to freeze you in carbonite, not kill you. So kindly surrender now.
I'm afraid I'll have to decline your generous offer.
Yes, they said you might be stubborn. Keep her still. I need a clear shot, or she'll just freeze and shatter.
Okay. Well, that's a thing that happened. Allow me to retaliate by throwing rocks at you.
No, please. I'm an engineer. I was just supervising the carbonite weapon. Please don't kill me. The informant didn't say you were some crazy super Jedi.
If you want to live, an explanation might calm me down.
This anonymous tip said you'd insulted Captain Valon. The commandos planned to use you to lure him out. They needed you as bait. Said they had to get back the armor Valon stole.
What's so special about Valon's armor?
Hoth's covered in starship wreckage. We found advanced armor in a wreck and took it to our labs. That armor has a special healing mechanism. It heals any wound. They just got it working when Valon stole it. That's all I know, I swear. Can I go?
Yes.
I can't let you live with what you know.
But I helped you. Please, no.
So, super armor that heals any wound definitely qualifies as a super weapon. Or a stupid weapon, as it is better discussed. There it is. Do I have any high hopes for the Fable remake? No. What are my thoughts on the Warcraft movie? I actually did a discussion stream on that one. So, unfortunately, even though this is apparently the common opinion, I do absolutely share the common opinion. The orcs were amazing. so good that, honestly, if you just ejected everything else from the film, it'd probably improve the film's overall quality by a huge margin. The humans sucked, with only a couple of exceptions. God, it does, Triaxia. Yeah, Lothar was just terrible. What they did with... Oh my god, I can't think of his name. The King was okay. I actually liked what they did with Khadgar. But Lothar, the main character, was awful. Lane. King Lane. I know I could get that one, I just had to think about it for a second. So, either get rid of or fix Lothar, and that movie becomes substantially better. By contrast, I have no real complaints on the orc side of things. Gul'dan was interesting, had actual layers to him despite being horrifically evil from word go. I love what they did with Orgrim. And of course, you know, Durotan. See you around, Luca.
They tracked us back here, LT. Those scouts were coordinated. Captain Valon's still alive, isn't he? You lied to us. Were you in on this, Jedi?
Lieutenant, how could you deceive your men like that?
We always wondered how you escaped the imps, LT. Now this? We're not gonna stay here and die.
Ah!
Talk or shoot, Private. Don't try and do both, okay? You're in command, Jedi. I keep very special punishment chores for soldiers who step out of line.
Maybe that will teach him to respect the chain of command.
Congratulations, Kree. You get to chip ice off the comm tower's aerials for a week.
Sweet!
Yes, sir.
But Kree's right. We can't stop Valon. No one can.
You're jumping at shadows. Somewhere out there, Valon is laughing at you. He stole special armor that keeps him alive from an Imperial lab. Are you afraid of a scientist's toy?
So, Valon's secret is this special armor. Huh. You know, we did get intel about an Imperial lab hidden nearby. If the Empire was studying that armor, we might find information there.
Any laboratory good enough to work on the armor will be surrounded.
Yeah, we scouted it. There's guards and snow hides around the whole perimeter. A frontal assault would really cost us, but we could handle the guards while you get inside. Or, we could try luring them out, get them lost in the snow. Risky, but less risky than fighting. It's your call.
That lab could house other secrets. Make sure those guards are eliminated.
Good point. We won't let you down. All right. We take the guards, you get in and see what you can find. I'll find you when we're clear. Everyone, get your gear! We're hitting both Valon and the Empire on this one.
I like how he doesn't call me out for selling him out earlier. Like, you'd think that'd be the first thing, like, Jedi, dude, what the hell? Which, once again, proves my point about Consular and why it's not quite as good as the Imperial side. It's got half of good writing. Like, the good writing is there, but nobody reacts to it. Yeah, no consequence. Exactly. It really does make me wonder what was going on behind the scenes here.
Official business only.
By the way, if I haven't said it yet, thank you for your assistance, Orkano, in making this go a bit quicker. I mean, obviously in general, but especially today. Pour more and more money into raising my dark side points.
It's really trivial.
That's right, I can spend money
My solar apps.
on increasing my dark side points.
Is my highest priority. Rest assured, this will be done to perfection.
So Lothario says, what's the strangest kind of pizza you've ever seen? That's not Lothario, that's Act. Wow. Artichoke pizza, definitely. Lothario says, in your rewrite of Star Wars, do the events of KOTOR 1 still happen, including the Mandalorian Wars? I have no idea. as with everything about the Star Wars rewrite, even some of the basics of what we're keeping and what we're ejecting hasn't even been decided yet, because we have to decide on the more basics first. Yay! Soon we'll be done with Hoth. In-game money, Triaxa, in-game money. Baked bean pizza? I've seen that. It's disgusting looking, but I've never had it. Ironically, I have had artichoke on pizza, Morganite. So, I don't remember all of what was on it, but I know it was big old chunks of onion. Like, when I say onion on pizza, no, I mean onions on pizza. Like, chunks of onion. Artichoke, obviously. And I want to say either broccoli or Brussels sprouts. I'm not sure what exactly it was. But it was basically a vegetable pizza. The thing is, it was also really thick. Like, this tall, and absolutely like, the cheese wasn't just a layer on top. The whole thing had cheese going throughout. So every bite was basically eating cheese and also the vegetables. It was extremely good. When I first sat down to eat it, my reaction was basically, ew, I'm not eating that. They're like, no, try it. And I'm like, okay. Nom, nom, nom. And so, ordered another one. Anyways, point being, one of these days, once I've taken over the world, one of the things I want to do is hunt down the restaurant that was there, because I remember where it was. It was just southwest of Sacramento. And I can point to it on a map. And if that restaurant still exists, I want to have that pizza. And if they don't have it, I'm going to reverse engineer it and figure out how to either make one or get someone to make one for me. Because gosh darn it. You know, I feel like I already answered that question, Latario. So let me answer that question by saying something else instead. Let me talk about the Diablo rewrite. You're probably thinking, what's that have to do with anything? Well, first it has to do with me hitting the wrong button when trying to stealth. Very important part of the process. When I sat down to make the Diablo rewrite, so this is my general approach to doing a rewrite project, of which I've already started like 4, and plan to do more like 10 more in the future. First thing I do is I get into combat with this thing over here, which is killing my DDT, excuse me, very rude. We'll just smash some rocks into your face, and you're dead. Pissant, come here. The first thing I tend to do is I sit and stare at it and I'm like, alright, let's start with the absolute bare bones. Now, we've actually talked about this before because this is writing advice in general, which is why I'm talking about it. You can either work backwards or work forwards. I know that's very, very broad in rough terms, but I mean it. So if you work backwards, what you do is you start with something you want to write. I've actually given this advice before. Maybe you like mechs. Maybe you like war. Maybe you want to do a dancing Twi'lek as a major character. Maybe you want to do something with darkness not being evil. Maybe you like elemental concepts. Maybe you want cooking to be a big focus. It doesn't matter. It's something that really interests you that you want to write. And then what you do is you work back from there. You try to figure out how that exists, why that exists. Okay, so you want to do, you know, a dancing Twi'lek. Why is she dancing? Actually, better question, what is a Twi'lek? Is this something that's set in Star Wars? Is this something we're just pulling a Twi'lek into something else? Is this planet-bound? The moment you start with your premise, it informs itself by having questions attached to it, one way or the other. And so you work backwards from there. Well, okay, well, I want this Twi'lek to be here because I really like the idea that she's dancing in order to make herself feel better for the horrific death of her one true love. And her lover was actually a dancer. She's not a very good dancer, but she's been learning how to dance in honor of her dead lover. And Vigilant's dead.
Yes, you. Too late. I heard you were coming after the regenerative armor, and I've destroyed my notes. You'll learn nothing.
You will tell me everything I want to know.
You don't scare me.
All clear. A lot of dead guards out there, but we're pretty banged up too.
I claim immunity. Under Section 1138 of your Republic Charter. You cannot coerce or harm a political prisoner.
Uh-huh. But Hoth isn't in the Republic now, is it?
Ever watch a mind being broken by the Force, Doctor? It's quite horrific.
Yeah. So you'd better talk fast.
What? You can't. My mind is all I have.
That's a shame. But what's one more insane scientist in the Empire?
Whoa! Jedi, take it easy.
Neil.
No, don't! I'll tell you everything. Just no more. You know Valan's armor has a unique healing function, yes? But that function can be overstressed. If Valan was mortally injured several times quickly, the healing function would shut down, leaving him vulnerable.
Sometimes violence is the only solution.
Sorry to interrupt, LT. We've spotted a group of Valan's men. They're headed for a scavenger's camp. Should we engage them now or wait for you?
Weird audio.
I'm open to your opinion on this.
Just make sure they can't escape and wait for us.
Yes, sir. I'll pass it on.
Wait! Your Republic Charter states prisoners must be cared for. Without my equipment, this lab will soon freeze.
My people are walking wounded. I can't waste manpower escorting something like you.
Nobody forced you to destroy your equipment, Doctor. Goodbye.
As a prisoner, I demand that you... Wait! Come back!
The way she said that, the way she delivered that line is what sold that. That's one of the reasons why I keep saying the actress is nailing the dark side thing, right? Nobody forced you to destroy your equipment, Doctor. Goodbye. Oh, that's just great. Come on. DDT. So, you, this is the wrong song. There we go. That's the one I wanted. Anyways. Yeah, so, what was I talking about? So that's one of the ways you can write, is you work backwards, right? Now, I tend to not do that, at least not nowadays. When it comes to the rewrite project, I tend to write forwards. So the first thing I do is I think, okay, Star Wars. Alright, so what does Star Wars sit upon? Now, you already know where I'm going with this, but I'm just going to talk you through it, right? What does Star Wars sit upon? Okay, we got the technology, and we've got the Jedi. Okay. That's way up there. Let's go with... Yeah, Zarek is probably correct. Yeah, you're right. Okay, so we've got the Jedi. Well, what do the Jedi sit upon? Well, the Jedi sit on the Republic. Well, how does the Republic work? Well, the Republic works because of this and that, blah, blah. And you crucible it down until you get down to the very floorboards, to the very bedrock on which everything else sits, like Mr. Red over there, who I wish I'd stopped donating, especially when I'm going to pay him for all the work he's been doing lately. It's going to be very awkward. But what I do is I break down to the bedrock and then start here. All right, this is bedrock. What do I want to do with this? Now, you already know what the answer is with Star Wars. The bedrock of Star Wars is the Force. So the first thing I have to decide, period, is what is the Force? How does the Force operate? What are its rules? How does it interact with what? Etc., etc. Once that brick is laid down at the very bottom of everything, that will inform a huge number of other things. I've done the same thing with the Diablo rewrite. It's like, okay, where do I want to start? Well, what is an angel? What is a demon? That was the core question at the very bottom of everything. So, I defined what an angel and a demon was, and from that, we have the nature of magic, and the nature of creation, and the nature of how realms co-interact, and all sorts of other stuff, which is all based because first thing I did was build that brick at the very bottom. Now, that doesn't mean you... So, Takoida mentions you can do both, and that's true. These are not mutually exclusive. But one of the reasons why I keep resisting questions about, what are you going to do with this in the rewrite is because without that very, 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 very basic brick at the bottom of everything, I can't design anything else by its nature, because everything else sits on that brick. It's quite literally like trying to build a house that doesn't have a base. It doesn't work that way. So I can't. So I don't. So that's why I keep being like, Whenever you ask me a question, it's not just you, Latorio. Lots of people have been like, hey, what do you think about such and such? And my answer is usually, oh. Because, oh. Now, thank you, Mr. Red. I do always appreciate. Thank you. Especially the... No, So hang on, I gotta write all that down. Damn it. That's... What? Now, this is just... So... How do I phrase this? This is my method of how I write. I give it as advice because there's lots of different ways to write, and this is one of the methods by which you can write. Please do not mistake me for saying this is how one must write. This is the great, unyielding method by which all writing must exist, because that's insanity and stupid. But I don't think I really have the ability to write any other way, personally. To go back to the Star Wars example, and let me use a direct example here, let's say that, you know, I haven't defined the Force yet, which I haven't, and someone asks, what do you do with such and such? My answer is, I have no idea. Because I haven't defined the bones, the bricks that lie under it yet. I literally cannot design a window until I have the floorboards, until I have the bedrock. It doesn't work that way. And that's just the way I tend to work. I gotta write down all that stuff.
I've got an update. This is big. Our scouts tracked the pirates' trail back to the starship graveyard. Right to a dreadnought. The thing's a fortress.
That must be where Valon's hiding out.
And he won't just be sitting there. These scavengers use special gear to get salvage out of the ice. Valon's men went straight for it. I think Valon's planning to raise the old Republic dreadnought from the graveyard. Then he'd have his own flagship.
With his healing armor and a ship that size, every pirate on Hoth would join him.
Yeah. We have to get in there. This'll be rough. That class of ship used heavy security doors as choke points. Plus the scouts reported lots of pirates.
Wait, LT. Jedi, you've put yourself on the line for us over and over.
That's right, now it's our turn.
Valon wants that ship to fly, right? So what if we hit the engines? He'll send his men to protect them.
That'll work. We'll keep Valon's men out of the way, Jedi. You finish him for us.
Thank you. Watch your backs and help each other. I want you all back alive.
I'm with them, Jedi. Right now, I wouldn't want to be shoulder to shoulder with anyone else. Our radios won't work out here, but I'll send you an alert when we've disabled the engines. We'll join you if we can. Find some way past those security doors and get to Valon. I just hope I'll be there for the finish.
Never say no to help.
And back to Zarek. There. So Jay Palmer says, a friend of mine insists that on writing as you go, coming up with story as he writes. Is that a bad idea? No. I can't remember the proper term for that. It's something like flow of consciousness writing or something like that. Now, I'm going to go ahead and be 100% honest with you. Flow of consciousness writing depends a lot on your second pass or third pass of the story. You know, when you go back and edit and polish and figure out everything. Flow of consciousness writing can lead to some extremely terrible stories. Star Trek, excuse me. Because a lot of writers don't bother to do that second or third pass, and they just kind of make stuff up as they go, and it sounds like a 9-year-old made it up. Now, whether that works or not kind of depends on what you're going for, but I would caution against just doing that, you know, and not doing anything else with it. Just dump a few million credits here on going faster. There we go. I wasn't going to say anything, Evo. It really does depend on what you're going for, too. So, first of all, a tale, if you're going to write a tale, doesn't really follow the same rules as most other stories, because it doesn't have to. It's not designed to. Same thing with a parody, same thing with a poem, same thing with a myth. These are just some random examples off the top of my head, but my point is none of those need to follow the provisos that I'm talking about. I was going to say good writing, but I realize that that just sounds biased. But you get my point, right? That's just doing its own thing. As a further addendum, most of what I'm talking about is firmly within the realm of long-form storytelling. You don't have to design the nature of how the fabric of physics works if you just want to do a short story about some guy who's running from some deer who are trying to kill him, right? Yes, that's a real example. But the stuff that I'm primarily concerned with and interested with is things that are long-term. You know, shows, video games, series on YouTube, etc. So, shrug. So Trihexia says, have you ever wanted a meal the restaurant doesn't sell, but they have the ingredients for, so you pay for the ingredients, and they make the meal not on the menu? No, I've never encountered a restaurant that would be willing to do that. If the Force existed in real life, would you be against people learning how to use it, given how powerful it is and easily it can be abused? The Force is a tool like anything else. The thing I would be concerned with is what exactly the Force is. So, to answer that question, we would have to define what the Force is. The Force is absolutely not defined, in-universe or out, in the EU or the AU. The Force has never been defined. It has always been whatever that particular writer wanted it to be. Now, sometimes that's worked out okay. Damn it, Cashel. Because the writer has been consistent with their own interpretation of it. And sometimes... Sorry, Indiana Joe. I actually meant to invite you and I got distracted, I'm sorry. And sometimes that's not okay because the writer literally is making it up as they go, because plot. I will pretty much never be in favor of because plot. I'm not even sure there's a circumstance in which I'd be okay with that. Unless it's a parody, which I can see. That's true, Malachor. The Force is a tool, and how we use that tool is what really matters. Game? Powers as plot demands is not something I'm super in favor of. I'm probably very biased against that because not only have I consumed media for the last 40 years, but also I used to read comic books.
That's far enough, Jedi.
Hi.
The pirate Valon is ours. And so is that armor he borrowed.
I heard that Valon took the armor from under the Empire's nose.
It was a loan. The armor made him the perfect weapon to attack the Republic and your little coalition. Unfortunately, Valon's becoming a nuisance. He needs to be put down. We're taking that armor back if we have to rip it off Valon's body. You're not in any position to stop us.
I suppose I could accept that, Latario. I've always been more Sith than Jedi anyways, so I'll just accept that. I have no idea, Taquita. Like, there wasn't even an option to not attack them. It was just, yep, hi, we're here to kill you. Okay. Cool. Also, nope, the war hasn't gone high yet. My bad, we're still in Act 2. Which one was Past Sins? I probably have, but I don't know the name off the top of my head. But yeah, I guess to finish my concept there. If the Force actually was real, then my thought is, first of all, it's a tool, because it is. But second of all, it's a tool, it's a dangerous tool. That means that's something you respect. You have to treat that carefully, calmly, appropriately, and responsibly. Just using the Force all willy-nilly is almost assuredly going to cause problems, one side or the other. Probably pretty low, Jay Palmer. Hey, Ross.
They're stubborn, Valen. But when the flagship is ready, the rest of the White Maw will follow. Who's that?
Someone who can't take a hint. I was hoping you'd be here for this.
Hi.
See? Some in the White Maw see that I'm the future. When this ship is raised, I'll have a whole planet of followers.
Keep clinging to that dream, Valon. It'll make your last moments easier.
Oh, you're trying so hard, aren't you, Jedi? The White Maw is mine, along with this ship. When she takes to the sky, the Outer Rim's gonna tremble before... What the...
All your men just died defending the engines. This ship's going nowhere.
Nice, Valen. No, you can't do this. I'm untouchable. Even death can't take me.
The time for discourse is over.
You're finished, Jedi.
I was gonna say, can we just cut his head off? We should have done that last time, but, you know, whatever. I can accept that because we're arrogant.
You're okay.
It's gone. You broke...
That's music to my ears. Hello, Valon. I've been waiting for this since we buried Antilles.
Just hold on, Jedi. I got a deal for you.
Oh, really?
Hear me out.
Tell me all about it.
My patience is wearing thin.
Your Rift Alliance needs help, right? I got men, ships, equipment. I could attack the Empire's trade routes for you.
You had better be joking.
The armor's broken, but you get the pick of what I got left. You can have my oath right now.
The options are no, because it's wrong, no, because you'd betray me, or yes, I accept. Interestingly enough, I accept is not a dark side option. The problem is, option 2 is correct here. There is no way he's going to stay loyal to us. No, it's okay, Evo. I know, we're eternally against each other. Literary rivals. There's also no kill option.
Your ambition makes you too dangerous to be trusted.
And that means you finally get to enjoy some Republic hospitality, Valon. Thank you, Jedi, for everything. Meet us back at the Republic base. We'll get our guest where he belongs.
Also, the idea that that's a light side choice makes me raise an eyebrow. Whatever. Not even sure where he's at. Yeah, let's try and undo that really quick here. Some dark side points.
I promise nothing less than perfection, Master.
So admittedly, that doesn't make sense to me, Malachor, but I don't want to start a thing, so I'm just going to not understand and accept that. Like, I feel like what you're telling me is, all right, Lore, you see this screwdriver you're being very careful with using because it's a dangerous weapon? Yes? Well, because of the fact that you're thinking of it as a tool, you're not actually being responsible about it, and you're not actually giving it the respect it deserves. And I'm like... And I just don't get that. I'm sorry. I am the idiot there.
Jedi, we've been waiting for you.
We wanted to thank you before we left. We owe you our lives, and I probably owe you my career.
It was worth it all to see Valon stuffed in a convict shuttle.
Here, from us. Don't need our equipment now that we're leaving.
It was an honor to work alongside you. Go well.
Oh, forgot, the LT got a call. He's gone up to your starship to make a report. He said he'd meet you there.
Whatever anyone says, you're one of us now, Jedi. Best of luck.
Peace. So, actually, a chainsaw is a much better example, because not only is a chainsaw a terrifyingly dangerous tool, I've actually used a chainsaw in real life, repeatedly. So, yeah, no, a chainsaw is not something you want to screw around with. Hell, a chainsaw is even hard to use when you're being careful. So, much better example, Mr. Red, thank you.
Quite a story, Jedi. If we'd known the pirates had such technology. At least you were there to make the mission a success.
We appreciate what you've done, but to be honest, I would have preferred this Valen dead rather than imprisoned. Now listen.
He was at my mercy. The Jedi Code required I spare him for judgment.
True, and our soldiers are safe because of you. That's all that matters.
We're forgetting someone. Good work, Lieutenant Iresso. We'll make sure the Republic rewards you before you're reassigned.
Actually, sir, as a reward, you could persuade my superiors to assign me here, if that's okay. It'd be an honor to serve with you. Plus, an extra blaster never goes amiss, right?
So, I asked you to remind me to say something real quick. When we first met Iresso, I was like, oh, well, clearly he's he's the person who's going to join. But then the lieutenant, the other lieutenant, the private, started talking. I'm like, well, maybe he's the party member. And then we started talking to the pirate dude. And I was like, shoot, maybe the pirate dude was the companion. And no joke, Iresso was so unmemorable, I couldn't remember which of these random, person with blasters was the actual companion from Hoth.
There's most certainly a place for you here, Lieutenant.
Thanks. That's a warmer reception than I've had in a while.
Not a flirt.
Excellent. It's settled then. I'm sorry. Could you excuse us for a moment?
For time.
You mentioned someone on Hoth was sending the Empire information about you.
It meant the enemy was always one step ahead.
Since I found that monitoring device, I've been watching our communications. I spotted a message to the Empire in amongst other messages while the channels were busy, but I can't trace who sent it.
The monitoring device, the messages, Lord Kyros's inside knowledge. Our traitor can work our communication system.
So, who uses the comm system the most?
Alani. She's always getting news from her world.
No. Alani sticks to her personal channel. Ty only got a call or two before he left. Duan never speaks to anyone.
Come to think of it, what does Blasis do with his free time?
He's always busy. The Aragorn bureaucracy sends him a lot of work. Through our communications array. Wait, when you were on Hoth, and someone leaked those messages, Blasis was sending reports everywhere. What if he alerted the Empire, then?
Even if Blasis isn't responsible, he could point us in the right direction.
Wait here. I'll see where he's got to.
No, it couldn't be Blasis. I just sent him on a mission. I meant to surprise you, Nadia. King Sethan and Queen Niska themselves are donating a regiment to the Republic.
What does Blasis have to do with this?
The royal family wanted to heal relations between the Rift Alliance and the Republic. They thought donating troops would help. They planned a ceremony on Waypoint Station 3 to present you with the soldiers. But you were needed on Hoth, so I sent Blasis as our envoy. He's with the King and Queen right now.
Someone has to protect those people.
I'll contact Ty. His droids could guard the royal family until we get there.
If I've harbored a serpent aboard my ship, I'll be the one to kill it.
I understand, Jedi. We should hurry.
Yeah, you noticed me kind of mouth on that one, like, donate soldiers. How big is a regiment? That's a good question. Never, Giga. Never. Let's look at the Star Wars source book, shall we? How big is a regiment here? Yep, not artillery. Yes, I still have it by my desk. Shut up. Let's see here. This Navy? This is Navy. So let's go back to... Okay, here we go. There's companies. Above a company is a regiment. Roughly 3,530 people. On average. Hi, Giga. Uh-oh, she's dancing. Run! Oh yeah, X-Death is just great. In fact, actually, do I have... I do not. Why do I not? Fix that in a minute. The Way Station 3. Of course, Evo. Yes, I'm the worst writer in the history of the ever. Any questions? Yes, I did actually write some Diablo 2 stuff. Oh, speaking of which, does anybody here care to answer? So I've got a dilemma in the Diablo 2 rewrite. I need Diablo to ambush the party. What I'm trying to think of is what he could ambush them with. It can't be any demons, and obviously there's just him himself, but you'd think he'd ambush with the party with something other than just himself. So does anybody have any ideas? He'll be ambushing them at the Fortress Pandemonium, which is a fortress built by Imperius that sits pretty much at the barrier between the Sanctuary and the outermost reaches of Hell. He knows they're going for the Forge because the party is trying to destroy the Soul Stones, so he's going to take them there.
And here's our guest of honor. Kyrus, if the Jedi takes one step toward their majesties, cut their throats.
It will be done, my master.
We're no threat to you. Please, at least release my wife.
I know you can exploit any advantage, Jedi. So the soldiers had to die. The civilians, too. I do, after all. Take pride in being thorough.
So... this actually disappoints me a little bit. Do you remember this guy? No, really, do you? When he first showed up, he was the stuttery, cowardly one hiding in the corner. And my very first thought was, oh, he's the traitor. Or he's the Sith spy or whatever. Keep in mind, I don't remember this story arc. I have no memories of these events. So the moment he showed up on camera, literally within seconds, I was like, oh, he's the traitor. I'm almost sad that he is, in fact, the traitor, because he really is the most obvious choice here.
I saved you from the Fortitude, and you stabbed me in the back.
Yes, Eric's was overenthusiastic, but his purge of the Fortitude was useful. No mere infiltrator. I am Organ Blasis, and I am a child of the Emperor. I was brought before the Emperor as an infant, and imprinted with his power, his consciousness. I shared the greatest mind in the galaxy. With the first sun concealing my presence, I joined hundreds of my brothers and sisters scattered throughout the Republic to watch and wait.
Okay, that's a little strange, but, you know. Whatever, I guess everyone's got to have a hobby.
Who is this first son you speak of?
Supreme among those to receive this honor. I can't even comprehend the power he wields. This is immaterial. An Imperial fleet is coming. You will all be destroyed, and without the Rift Alliance, the Republic is finished. But the Empire is merciful, Your Highness. Your planet could be spared the coming destruction.
How? Tell me.
Order your bodyguards to kill the Jedi.
Even if you agree, he'll betray you, and the Empire will destroy your world.
But threatening someone's family, like you did on Balmora, that makes you as bad as this Empire.
We can't risk our people for this Jedi. If killing her will save them, we agree.
You are wise. Kyrus, I promised you the Jedi's heart. Now's your chance to claim it.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, let me get some dark side points back here really quick. Don't mind me.
Do I get a grant for this?
Fine.
I will exceed your expectations,
Why won't
Master.
you accept that our victory is inevitable? Destroying my servant won't end this. The first son of the Emperor will lead us to glory. Your death is the first step on that path.
At least give me the courtesy of knowing my enemy's name.
Die in ignorance. It has been agony, restraining myself from killing you.
Oh, really? I feel like I could show you a little bit more of what agony really looks like. No. My mistake.
He's dead? You... How could you... He seemed invincible. Why would he do this? Tobus Grell said Blasis was your ally.
These children of the Emperor seem intent on destroying the Rift Alliance and thereby the Republic.
Forgive us. We had to give in to him. Clearly, this Empire is too powerful. Millions of our people could have died at his whim.
Pay me, or things are going to get unpleasant.
Yes, absolutely. You'll receive reparations. I swear it. I hope Tobus Grell and little Nadia are all right. We owe them so much.
Senator Grell and his daughter have earned their place on my ship. I'll take care of them.
We will ask the Republic for help getting home. Whatever your reasons for saving us, the Republic will receive a large donation for this.
That would more than suffice.
Goodbye, Jedi. Go safely.
A kind gesture. Oh god, we're going to Belsavis next, aren't we? No! No. Do you think we could beat Belsavis before the lunch break? Let's try and rush for that a little bit. No, it's actually a good analogy, Malachor, and I do get your point. It's a common narrative trope. It's the things beyond our understanding concept. That's all it is.
Blasis was a Sith. He's dead, and the royal family are safe, but their soldiers weren't as lucky.
Jedi, quickly. You need to hear this.
What?
Something's happening. Ah, finally. Master Seal.
Thank the Force you're all right. The Empire has launched a devastating offensive. The galaxy is again at war. Dozens of major systems are being invaded. An Imperial ambush almost broke the Republic fleet and the Jedi. Every hour more are lost. We managed to protect the core worlds, but the rest of the Republic is under fire.
If we don't counterattack immediately, the Republic is finished.
Calm yourself. Attacking blindly would be suicide. I need you. All of you. The Rift Alliance worlds are the only ones still standing strong. We need you to... Wait. I don't see the Aragorn representative. Is Blazes all right?
I was forced to kill Blazes, to save innocent lives.
The children of the Emperor. Now, of all times, you say they've hidden themselves in the Republic.
These children of the Emperor are an abomination.
Unfortunately, the Council knows little about them. Several years ago, one of the Dark Council turned and joined us. He brought valuable intelligence. He mentioned these children of the Emperor, but even the Dark Council only knew terrible rumors. We must be on guard. In the meantime, the Chancellor has invoked an ancient law giving Jedi Masters military authority. The Republic needs our leadership.
What would you have me do?
We can't win with the armies we have. The Republic needs powerful allies. And you have already proven you could lead them. You and the Rift Alliance must search the galaxy, seek out the strongest forces you can find, to strike back at the Empire.
You won't be alone out there, Jedi.
Manon stands with you. Clinton 2 also, whatever good it'll do.
Balmora will always be your ally, no matter what.
I'd rather follow someone I respect. Count me in too.
We've come a long way together. Now it's time to use our strength.
We must begin our search for allies at once.
I must admit, this task does seem near impossible. Places murdered so many of my people alone. To fight all the children and this empire. Who could help us?
We must find an army the Empire can't possibly intercept or predict.
Something new. Or perhaps something old.
What of the Noeticons? The ancient masters who taught you the shielding technique. Their knowledge and experience could guide us.
They're dead, dude.
The Noeticons were lost when the Sith attacked me on Coruscant.
We recovered the last fragments of the Noeticons, and our most gifted engineers have been reconstructing them on Tython. They haven't responded to anyone, even the Council. But they may remember you. I must go. Leave for Tython and speak to the Noeticons. I hope their knowledge has survived. May the Force be with you.
I didn't even see the question yet, so let me pull up the question queue. Let's see, question queue. Question. It's not in the queue, Evo. You lied to me! There's only one penalty for lying to me. Seriously though, there's no question in the queue. There's a question from Act, which says, why do you hate the Vong so much? Well, the reason I hate the Vong so much is they are gross because they use biological technology, and they're gross because they literally worship pain, and I think that's actually sufficient reason by itself, to be completely honest with you. So, yeah, I'm going to stop there. I could keep going, but no, I'm good. Oh, if Felreath knew about the judge's reaction. Yeah, he is almost assuredly, like 100% certainty, the person who actually petitioned that judge. This is his mission. He probably petitioned the judge before those emails were sent at the beginning of you know, everything. How would he react? I think we've actually already discussed that. Unless you mean on a personal level, in which case I have no idea. Where's this?
You're okay.
Yeah, paying for faith. Yep, nope, we're good. Done. Long or icky. Moving on. Okay, nothing happens.
The Order needs your guidance once more, Masters.
Zoom, 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 zoom.
Broken vessel merely frees its contents. Your face is familiar.
Though life has written on you since we taught you the shielding technique.
Yes. Now I recall. I sense the Sith were behind our sudden plunge into darkness.
A moment, Master Arca. Was the shielding technique successful? Did it save your master?
Unfortunately, the evil influencing her was too powerful.
I'm sorry for dwelling on a painful subject. Please, tell us what brought your
That
master.
is her, Evo. Same actress, even.
So, you seek an army to protect the Republic from its enemies. Quite a puzzle, even for us.
But not impossible, Master Tharis. The ancient Rakata boast in their writings of imprisoning a sleeping army.
As I remember, the Rakata conquered and enslaved most of the galaxy before they died out.
The translation? Oh, this is fascinating. Apparently, the Rakata imprisoned this army in stasis beneath a planet's surface.
But see, the writings are incomplete. There's no record of which planet it is.
It's Belsavis!
Perhaps we could extrapolate the planet's position from the rest of the writings.
They speak of a fading nova in the night sky during the prison's construction.
In that time period? Then it's somewhere in the mid-rim. But we're missing a coordinate to pinpoint it.
See here, a monument proclaims our victory. And that's the Rakata term for Hoth. This monument on Hoth will have the last coordinate.
But go carefully. The Rakata protected their monuments from enemies and rebelling slaves. Its guardians may still be active.
Thank you for all you've done.
You've done a great service in reawakening us.
For now, we must conserve our energy. And you have an army to find.
May the Force be with you, and with the Republic.
Oh, trust me. It is. And now to Hoth. Sorry, everyone. We gotta go to Hoth. Again. Never mind. There's no way we're doing Belsavis this quickly. Might actually cut off early. In fact, I know what I'll do. So, when interacting with members of the ground team who aren't supposed to know. This is going to sound very strange, but I don't understand why his actions would change based on his knowledge or lack thereof, Evo. He just wouldn't show anything. There's nothing in his mind to show. Well, let's see, do I have music for Death Peak? I mean Hoth.
Never say no to help.
Should be like right here. Oh, there it is. Ah, yeah, there we go. Back to Hoth. I stand by my statement. I sincerely doubt his demeanor would change at all. From his perspective, nothing really changes until we reach the no really failure point. Which, to my knowledge, they never will.
There is no excuse for this failure.
Oh, Zarek. Jesus Christ. It's always Zarek, isn't it?
Never say no to help.
Well, there's two ways to look at that, Evo. And I'll let you decide this, because you're going to be the second and most person to write him as a character. Do you think he would have faith? Faith is the wrong word. Do you think he would doubt is probably the better word there? Or not? So, Ect follows up on the question about the Vong. Do you feel the same way about the Dark Eldar from 40k? Yep. The Dark Eldar are gross, except they're actually worse. They're worse than the Vong in literally every way. The Dark Eldar are so gross that I tend to pretend they don't even exist.
Never say no to help.
Let's see. Jay Palmer asks, do you remember who the first son is? No. Latario says, do you remember the big plot twist from Divinity Original Sin, which I will not read out loud? Yes. There's a Ricotta monument. Cool. Oh god, droids! It's always droids with the Ricotta! Jesus! God, I swear. No, come here. No, not. Come here! Let's see. Do I think they would go into denial if they were to... Yes. With 100% certainty, I guarantee you that people would not believe the truth, even if it was shoved into their face. Well, I mean, there's two ways to look at that, Evo. If you doubt that gravity functions, well, then you're being silly, right? Because gravity is such a proven concept. Across so many... Funny song. Across so many aspects of society and life and everything. There's no reason to doubt. That's a bad analogy. Let me use a slightly different analogy. Have you ever been walking out of a... Welcome, slave. Have your master sent you for instructions?
The Ricotta left you behind when their civilization fell.
By deviance, by definition, the Infinite Empire cannot fall. I exist to proclaim the glory of the Builders and the Infinite Empire by recording the imprisonment of Eshka.
You have my attention.
Eshka, a hostile species who tried to destroy all of their sentient beings. Wait, seriously? We're going after the freaking Eshka? Seriously?
So these Eshka had the great Ricotta running scared?
Deviants. Only slaves feel fear.
Tear the Empire like a rag. Got my vote.
Seriously? Yep, okay. Cool.
No, your master sent orders. They've got plenty of slaves already.
Slaves do not speak for the Builders?
Only members of the Empire are worthy to serve the Builders, not the Republic.
Okay. At this point, I'm actually just picking some dark side options because I need more dark side points. Is there a thing I could buy for real money to make me dark side, by the way? Real question. Because we're in Act 3 and I don't even have my frickin' appearance yet. God, it's so hard to farm dark side points in this frickin' game. That was true in vanilla, too. There's a reason why we used to run Black Talon over and over and over to farm dark side points. It's because it took forever. Ugh. Speaking of which...
Do I get a grasp for this?
It's already gray. Whatever.
You have but to ask, Master. Consider the matter handled.
As I say, at this point, I'm just going to focus on getting the high end to cranking my diplomacy so I can get the high end dark side points. Anyways. So let me use a really mundane example.
I hope you eat properly
this
while
cutscene can wait.
ship, Master. Perhaps I should create non-perishable meals to send with you.
You ever leave a grocery store or a book place or a video game store or whatever, and they've got the scanners to detect if you're taking anything out, you know? Now, you haven't stolen anything. You know with absolute and total certainty. There's no doubt in your mind whatsoever. You have not stolen anything. Obviously, you know if you stole something. But you ever approach those things and just kind of go... And there's just that little bit of doubt. Just a little bit. Like you just tense up just a little bit as you're passing by them. The reason I bring this up is because this is how I think of your dilemma, Evo, in writing Felwreath. Because you know that the judge has said such and such, and the judges are always right. They are always right. They have never been wrong, and that is a proven fundamental fact. But every time, you're just kind of... So it's easy to see why Felreath might actually doubt. However, by the exact same token, you could flip that and say that Felreath could look at that and say, well, I haven't stolen anything. And just walk through and not even be bothered by it. I hesitate to use the word faith to describe such a thing, but you could see why doubt is something that's very easy to understand, given the circumstances. But I'm still going to make you decide because I'm pure evil. We put the monument star coordinates through the navigation computer. The entire system's classified.
Got us some answers. It's a world called Belsavis.
And the Ashka won't be lonely. The Republic's using Belsavis as a high-security prison.
Without the Eshkar, the Republic is finished. They'll have to grant me access.
That's not what worries me, Jedi. Those things were locked up for a reason. Mercado didn't dare let a single Ashka go free. You'll be releasing an entire army. Yeah, this is the dumbest frickin' thing we could be doing, by the way.
If the Eshkar rebel, they'll just go back in their box. But if they don't, the Republic gets powerful new shock troops.
Alright, this seems dangerous, but I believe in you. I don't!
We should seek out these Eshkar with all haste. I think they've been imprisoned long enough.
This is a terrible idea, which I completely disagree with. Whatever. God dang it. Well, hang on, Eva.
The Vandrake generator is finally taking shape. We are a step closer to victory at the symposium. Now we begin the most crucial stage, the generator's core. And another Luminatus Club member, Shorjan Chalice, has offered to help with that.
This might be a ruse to copy the Vandrake generator.
Copying a masterpiece isn't so easy, Jedi. Shorjan wants to trade some exotech for components I need, but I left my juicier exotech artifacts back at my store. You'll pardon me if I take a brief trip home to make the trade? We shan't be away for long.
Don't start gambling and end up too poor for a shuttle back.
Hopefully Shorjan will have all the components I need. The Vandrake generator's core is crucial to this entire endeavor. It's gratifying to know the security systems at my store are still intact. Shorjan Challa sends his regards, by the way. Charming fellow, wrote his thesis on planetary shielding mechanics.
Was Shorjan willing to trade with you?
Indeed. In fact, we got to talking, and he brought an issue to my attention. Shorjan's components will certainly build the core of the Vandrake generator, but he claimed the stress of its operation will soon burn them out. My Vandrake generator will work, but it will work for a minute at most, before it is destroyed forever.
Your generator's going to be a landmark discovery. Is there nothing we can do?
The Vandrake generator is an impossible machine, Jedi. To make an impossible machine work at all is a scientific marvel. A moment's operation should be enough to win the symposium. But after that... Forgive me, Jedi, I should double-check Shorjan's calculations. There may be something else I've overlooked. Do you, have a moment?
I just felt like having music.
Are you doing all right?
Ha! The rarefied awareness of the female. I just spoke to Maven Wetter, head of the Luminatus Club. The symposium's coming up very soon. He said he's heard rumors about my Vandrake generator. Everyone's very... excited.
If they know the truth, they must realize they don't have a hope of winning.
I'm not so sure. I've nearly finished the generator, but Shorjan Chalice was right. When I turn it on, its core will be destroyed. That core is irreplaceable. Meaning, I have no way to test the generator before the symposium. Jedi, to be truly accepted by the scientific community's elite, I can't lose when I'm so close.
You're going to win that symposium, and be written about in scientific journals from here to Geonosis.
My dear Jedi, I can always count on your words of wisdom. I stand poised on the brink of finally proving my worth. The view is... dizzying. But so is the drop.
Listen, journals are the peak of scientific progress, as we all know.
A real test of my genius.
Molt is over. I am living thing again.
Does this mean your Shikoyagu is over?
There's one last part. I must do things and eat... what? You... what? You have to eat your own molt?
So the person you were nourishes the person you're becoming.
Skin provides nourishment for last changes, but is uncomfortable like a stone in the belly. But must focus. I've spoken to Bob again, little hunter from Tatooine. Says hunting opportunity still waits on Alderaan. Now I am living thing with points to gain. Would be goodness to go.
Did Lex say what sort of hunt this would be?
Oh no, only chance of a lifetime hunt. Please, I have fitness to hunt and points to regain.
This is a special opportunity. You should take full advantage of it.
Thank you, Harold. We will meet Bob and Alderaan soon, or chance will be lost. Sure. Yeah, I guess so, Malachor.
Now we can talk without sub-zero wind in our ears. Thank you. Not just for saving my guys. You got me out of Hoth. You have no idea how much I was starting to hate that planet.
I found Hoth rather picturesque, actually.
Digging graves out there takes the bloom off, I'm afraid. You know, I missed the rest of the unit already. Even Kree. But they're going home, and that's the important thing. They've earned it. Your friend Kaizen's something else. He was asking how many kills I've made?
What did you tell him?
I don't keep count. He seemed a bit offended by that. He's odd company for a Jedi Master. I've been posted all over, but I haven't met many Trandoshans. Or Jedi. I always think of Jedi Masters as being stationed on Tython, and being... well, you're more hands-on than I expected.
We confer.
The Force can't dig a garden or build a city's defenses. Sometimes you must get your hands dirty.
I hear that. At least your missions aren't as hair-raising as mine were. It's been years since I slept through the night without some crisis coming up. Trandoshans, Jedi, it's all good. I'm glad to be here. You know, I did some numbers. This could wind up being the longest assignment I've had in 3 years. Scary how time flies when your mind's on other things.
Oh, you mean holiday is the option we could pick there.
Your mood does seem much brighter.
I have my reasons. Meantime, I was hoping to get better acquainted with the ship. It's got a lot of potential. Little mystery, too. I'm curious.
Option 1 is flirt. Option 2 is flirt. Option 3 is...
Old Padawans know curiosity can lead to disaster.
Then I'll trust your judgment, and admire the ship for what it is.
Please, stop flirting with me.
Good news. One of my guys from Hoth got a promotion. Private Lavick made it to Specialist.
Please send him my congratulations.
Thanks. I'll let him know. He's gone to Ord Mantell for training. I was there right after my transfer from... Felucia? No, Dantooine. Ord Mantell. That posting was lousy.
What were you doing there?
We discovered a separatist training camp. Me and another lieutenant were trying to break it up. But Lieutenant Jorgen had seniority, and he let me know it. Snap inspections, status reports. Every day he was up in arms about something.
Did you get used to it eventually?
I said yes, sir, when he ranted. Then did what was best for the unit. Maybe I'm being too hard on Jorgen. He was a good soldier. He's probably a general by now. Tarvin didn't lose a single man. Jorgen got a commendation. I got transferred to Sirocco, then to Duro, then Hoth.
Sounds like you're constantly being reassigned. Is that normal?
Army life isn't easy. I hope Specialist Lavick appreciates what he's got.
Everything?
promise nothing less than
I think
perfection.
we'll go ahead and chop off a little bit early. I don't think we're going to finish Consular today, not unless we really book it. So I'm going to take a short lunch. And then we're going to do Belsavis. And then hopefully smash through Voss and Corellia as fast as humanly possible. So, I'll see you for a bit. In a bit? Lasagna. Pancakes.